We're back, Danny. How good is this?
Yes. Yes, very much so. We're very much back in action, and we should be able to see this game play out. Those who are tuning in right about the very first map of the best of three, X Smash versus Saw. Didn't realize it, didn't really follow the action. What has been going on recently? Well, we did have our opening games being played out just a few hours ago, and of course we did see Saw versus Hard Legion, and in that matchup of course it was Saw to come out on top 16-13. X Smash had to face the polar side of Illuminar, and of course it was X Smash to come out on top. They won it 16-11, and here it is the upper bracket showdown. The winner of this one secures a spot in the playoffs, but before that they need to win this best of three.
Absolutely, and obviously jumping into the first map of the series, it will be Overpass, the map pick of X Smash. If we do go, obviously we will go to a second map that's going to be Nuke, picked by the Source side, and if we do go to a third, it will be Dust 2. So a great range of maps in this best of three, and well, for X Smash, they are probably going into this being the favourites for most of the viewers, and for both me and Danny. And, well, it starts off a bit of momentum. Can they get things going? Because, well, it looks as if Saw's going to be able to win out the knife round and potentially start off on the city side.
That seems to be very likely. Fates does go down eventually. So yeah, if you're going to be picking one of the sides to start on Overpass, I think the CT side is a go-to option. Especially now that I wouldn't necessarily. I know that a lot of people make the claim that Overpass is somewhat of more CT side affair. I'd say so, but I can't really say that it's by a huge margin. Like for a map like Train definitely one of our most CT sided maps we do have in the CS map pool. But I think that Overpass you can get a fair shot on both CT and T sides.
Yeah, look, it's very balanced in the sense of you don't get those like 10-5 halves every day. You don't get those 11-4s like you do on sometimes on the city side of Train or on a map like Nuke. It's certainly a little bit more balanced, and you quite often see 8-7 halves coming in. But look, for Saw, starting up on that city side, I'd love to see that AWP coming out for Dodo. And honestly, he was having a lot of impact on Dust too. So if he can able to follow up, maybe try and get aggressive around that party position, maybe try and utilize the AWP in a mass amount of different areas of the map, and just try and confuse X Smash and really where they're bringing that big green gun.
Oh yeah, and get them ops out as soon as possible, I'd say. CT or T side, it just makes a lot of sense to have one at your disposal. Of course, now with Saw kicking things off here in the CT side, I don't think we're going to be seeing anything too audacious for the pistol round. It should probably be a 3-man setup here towards the B-bomb set. Maybe 2 individuals overlooking what's happening in, for example, the park area. And in fact, we're going to be doing a bit of a different setup. They will have only 2 individuals towards the B side and even 3 going towards Fountain. So we might see early confrontation here, but just a spot. However, in Connector, it's a whole different ordeal. Roman gets the kill here at 1. Now see the players coming in from the B side. This is looking good. Saw comes in with the pincer move. There's still frags coming in, just securing free, and it's all up to Shocks.
Well, Danny, you mentioned it in the pregame about this connector control. This is absolute chaos coming out from both sides, but Shocks has been able to turn this into a 1 versus 1, and he's got the bomb. If he wants, he can go to the A or the B bomb side. Now, if he goes A, he's actually going to beat the player Oz to Dodo because, well, for him, he's starting to aggress short.
Oh, timing is everything. Oh, exactly. Timing is everything. So Dodo is able to get the frag here and Shocks as he just looks away for a brief second. And of course, he has no idea about it, but his head is already rolling down the stairs of Connector. So Saw managed to win the piss round. And okay, maybe it was a little bit unorthodox if I'm being honest. So much presence at Connector from both sides that they're fighting for this control. And eventually, that was some fine shooting from his part, but I gotta give credit to where credit is due. Shocks, the fact that he still managed to make it that competitive while it's in a 1-on-3, something tells me Shocks has got his stuff in order and he could actually bring his A game. Roman, though, being overwhelmed by Shocks, he will retreat for now, but he is being overwhelmed from all sides. Just gets the frag here in 1, but Roman, yep, as expected, does go down.
It's actually a force fire coming out from the X side after taking 4 players down in the pistol, but not getting the bomb down. A man advantage going the way of the Portuguese side. And, well, hang on a minute. Disco Doppler, he's made his way up through CT. How did he even get into this position?
I,
What?
I,
I don't know how he got there.
I don't know as well. How did he get there? I'm very surprised as well that he didn't do that much damage. Fates fires off the shots with the eagle, but they're not connecting. There is going to be a bomb plant though, which is always quite nice. Fates will punch in those digits, but he is being overwhelmed. There we go. Dodo and Maturis comes in, so eventually it will be a victory for Saw. But for X Smash, the bomb plant and the 1 kill, that's really not what they were aiming for. They were aiming to come on top with a victory, but at least for their efforts, they will receive some extra money.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. They certainly weren't aiming for that. They were aiming to be able to convert this anti-eco, and well, for Saw, they're going to be able to convert it with only losing a single player. So all in all, for the City side, a very, very successful second round. Now, they might not expect this, though. Very, very rarely do you ever see the force on the third after forcing on the second and losing it. Now, that bomb plant certainly does help them. It's Galil's across the board, a single AK up for Shocks. And I don't know if Saw is going to be ready for this, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, this is one hell of a purchase that I also didn't really expect. I thought they're just gonna, you know what, just eco this one out. Let's not pull out the Galils, but actually the opposite. The Galils are out, the weapons are here, and Arky manages to spot a few. Is gonna go for a bit of a spam, but it works both ways. And Arky losing a big chunk of his health in that exchange.
X Smash, at least they've been able to establish a fair bit of map control around this B bomb site. Well, you're certainly right. A lot of damage being done to Arky. Not a great amount of utility up for the T side, so really, Danny, it needs to come down to a lot of these raw duels. And I'll tell you what, Grux, I'm pretty sure he heard the reload of the FAMAS just around the corner.
Let's see, though. It's gonna be the smoke being checked in. And too much coming through. Players from X Smash just probably just gonna wait a little bit. Might as well. There's still time on the clock. Can wait for the utility to disperse and then they can move in. But there's another smoke. We've thrown out the feet of Fates. They need to wait yet again. And they're getting incredibly impatient right now. They're moving in. Roman gets the one. There will be a lot more players coming in from X Smash. And oh, Stabodo. Very good frags. And a third one for Stabodo. That flash is perfect. And that shuts down the advancement. And Stabodo does not get the fourth. But he has already won this round for the team. X Smash get demolished on Banana. And don't even reach the steps of the A side.
Mate, those flashes were so good. There was just flash after flash. And well, Stabodo, all he needed to do was just keep peeking as soon as those flashbangs came out. X Smash, they got the map control. They were able to find that trade, but they could not even get to the bomb site. A great round coming out from Saw, and finally, we are going to see just the eco to come out for the X Smash side. Just upgrading a couple of pistols. A 3-0 lead, a very good start on their own map pick.
Yeah.
Actually,
nice.
no, it's not their own map pick, is it?
Oh, it's the map pick of X Smash.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
In this situation, I mean, it's still early days though with WEG. That's the thing.
Sure,
I mean,
it is. Yeah.
Just like it was in the matchup against when Saul played against Hard Legion, right? It ended up being, you know, the map of the best of one, kind of an even footing. And even though a team like Hard Legion had the early advantage, I mean, we saw how quickly they lost their grasp. Well, a similar situation can happen to Saw. I mean, we even saw them fluster in that second half. We do remember it correctly. So they're definitely not platinum. They can make mistakes. Smash, however, in a round like this, wouldn't count them out though. You know, this is where, you know, a team with these skilled individuals can really do some damage.
Well, I'm getting worried in terms of the economy. Not the economy, the utility, sorry. I mean, we've seen in Dust 2 how many times Saw use pretty much all of their util before the execution's coming in. They have to deal with a lot of these deals, and they've only got 2 flashes. That's it. And they're both at the B bomb site.
Uh-oh, is this really gonna happen? Looks like it is. This is the commitment here from X Smash. They're now entering the A bomb site. Roman has got the angle to find the frag. Oh, deals the damage, gets the kills, and that's a sweep. That does it here for Saw as they secure round number 4. And, well, you can see that they're also building up some residual cash. We've got players like Stadodo here in 7,000, other individuals like above 2,000 or more. So this is really nice here for Saw. They're starting to build up a bank here in Overpass.
Yeah, it's certainly, I wouldn't say comfortable yet. If they're able to win another round and go up 5-0, it certainly will be looking very comfortable. But X Smash, this is their opportunity. Finally, they get like the full buy-in, the full AKs, the utility, the absolute lot, and they need to try and convert now. We're actually going to see the boost up and connect to try and look in through the short face, and Roman, well, he finds an opening kill. No trade potential to come out for the T side.
A little bit of satisfying bubble charges in, and already is eliminated so rapidly. Well, now X Smash. Better players are still out here in the fountain area, so they might begin to move in the A side from what I can tell. Using their utility in a very precise manner. So clearly this shows that they have done their practice. They have done their homework on a map like Overpass because they do know some of the utility. When it comes down to holding on to control, a lot of time has passed, about 50 or so seconds, and you can't say that they've progressed too much. Right about now, we see the players moving in here in the bathrooms, but you also have a player in the form of Shox who's also going around long, and of course, Roman is going to hold the same angle as he did before, but they're expecting him to be here. So Roman has to get on the bench, take the high ground so that the bullets don't scrape him.
Oh, that's really nice. They actually spam that position. Oh, this time he's going to go straight through the smoke, but does not check the angle. And Disco Doppler, well, he answers with 2 and leaves it all down to Sototo on the side. Those entries from Smash, ripping heads apart. And for Saw, they have to try and get their B anchors to try and rotate in, but it's a 2-on-4 disadvantage.
Oh, that's just too much for Saw, isn't it? But, ooh, we did see a bit of a crouching engagement there, but eventually... Smash are looking good to take this round. Just might begin to move in, try to clear out some of the angles, but the players are playing way too far back and just knows how difficult it is to win. So we'll consider just to back away and save that weapon. That just seems to be the most viable option. Trying to go for a clutch would be a great highlight reel, but you gotta play it smart, gotta play it safe in this round, and you gotta give this one away for Smash.
And I kind of want to say for Saw, maybe they were just playing a little bit too aggressive there around that bathrooms control. If they were to play a little bit more passive on the sites and even try and contain X Smash around that bathrooms area, they may have had a bit of an easier time because, well, Disco Doppler, he just opened up that site. Getting some really nice entries. And, well, that's what we want to see from X Smash. This is what we expect to see on their map pick of Overpass.
Oh, yeah. For sure. It's the type of stuff you want to see from X Smash. Even though initially, you know, they lose their player, but they still managed to have a successful commitment on the A-bomb site. They managed to take over it without too much of a hassle, if I'm being honest. So this is great stuff for Smash, but they really got to keep up the pressure. That's the important bit. You can't just have this one round and then lose the next few. That's just not how it goes. You need to have a solid T side. And for the players they have here, they can definitely make it work. Even though thus far, you know, some players, in particular Bubble, has not had the best of run thus far. He has yet to acquire a single frag. But he has Disco Doppler, who's able to find his zone. 4 kills to his name. Crux on 3, Shox on 2. Early days here in the first half, and I'm really interested to see what X Smash pulls out of the hat.
No, you talk about the X Smash side. We've got the AWP up as the Dodo going aggressive out through connector. Oh my goodness, that shot was millimeters away from finding an opening. And X Smash have forced Saw into playing very passive and quite deep into the sites. Look at the map control they've already gained. Connector and Bubble just walking monster.
Walking up indeed. Bubble will consider the back away. I mean, he's out here by his lonesome, so this makes his job incredibly difficult. At least you know that if you, for some odd reason, you screw up and you end up dying in that situation, you can at least bank on your teammate being right beside you. They can get the refrag. Oh, it's that Bubble does not have a teammate there? Oh, that makes it incredibly difficult. The Dodo, the AWP, will back away once he sees the utility flying in, but he still will hold a tight angle just in case someone from X Smash tries to challenge him. And well, even consider backing away a bit more. Oh, what a push, what a play. Good shot by him.
That is so big from Roman. The thing is, though, there's no one there on his team to try and help trade him. So as soon as he goes down, yes, they had that opening man advantage, but they lost it so quickly. And that just comes down to Roman making such a big individual play, having no backup. And, well, for X Smash, with low time, they're going to try and commit to this B bomb side. There are 2 players here.
2 players. Could be enough to deal with this push. The advancement is here. Just is also here, and Arky gets himself another one. This is turning out to be a solid hold until Shocks and Grux chime in. And now it's not looking too good here for Saab. However, time is ticking, and well, the bomb's been dropped. Stubdodo comes in with a frag on Grux, and Saab managed to pull it off.
Mate, that is a good hold. That is a very, very good hold from Saw. The fact that they were able to crossfire with barrels and close monster wall, and they just shut it down. Yes, we saw a couple of nice entries finally come out on the trade kills from Smash. The rotates, they came in so quickly. And I tell you what, this is looking pretty disappointing to come out from the X-Smash side. Definitely not the start that they were looking for. Bubble's still yet to get on a single kill.
Yeah.
And, well, Smash... they're just trying to get something to change up. They've given the MVP up for Fates on the T side, seeing if he can find something out through Connector.
Not gonna find anything as of yet, though. Have Arky moving in. Or maybe not. Backing away instead. Doesn't really want to go for those engagements there. Can't really blame him. I mean, by this point, X-Smash have good presence here of water. So if you do want to try to go for commitment, it's going to be incredibly difficult for the CT to do so. But, of course, the CTs on the other side can still be quite the nuisance. They can chuck another grenade from time to time over the wall. They can try to go for a few wall bangs and still dish out the damage here on the X-Smash side. Darius lining up the flashbang, maybe allowing his teammate to peek there, and well, there's the grenade, but ineffective to say the least, because Smash have more or less abandoned control of water and moving up upper.
I'll tell you what Smash have done a really good job at so far is being able to get a lot of map control, but they're finding it difficult to find these entries and finding that man advantage. And well, look, there it is. Grux just pushing aggressively out through short. Does not find anything. And you look at the time, no one's even got the bomb at this point. This has to be a B commitment.
Okay, that's going to be a good shot by Bubble. 25 seconds. Absolutely agree. It has to be a B-side commitment because they have so little time to work with.
Big.
Arky's positioning is so good.
Guaranteed they don't check it.
Smash. Will they? Will they not? They will not, and they will suffer the consequence. Oh, careful there, Arky. Almost kills his own teammate there, but no worries. X-Smash, with the very few time they had remaining on the clock, apparently was more than enough to win that B-side commitment.
Oh my goodness, everything went wrong there from Saw. I mean, the Barrels player almost taking down his teammate.
Yeah.
Those trades, they came out so quick from Smash. They really run down the clock. And honestly, for Saw, they needed to play a little bit more passive in the side. They were just too far aggressive. If they would have fallen back to maybe Heaven and Graffiti, try to get a boost going up and just leaving the Barrels player, he could have been able to shut it all down. But Smash, that is so down to the wire. I'm not sure if I like them running the clock that low.
Yeah, running down the clock so low is always a difficult situation to be in. You're not able to find those frags quick enough. If you're X-Smash and you're moving in, well, basically the round's over. Especially if someone just shuts you down while the bomb is being planted. Good thing that they've managed to get those frags really quick. I mean, they just came out in, what, a few seconds and everyone was dead from the Saw side. Roman though needs to get as close as he can to get that Zeus kill. Alright, that's pretty nice. Saw making sure this round is not going to go that easy in favor of Smash, but of course, it was an eco, so it should not have gone either way. Should being the key word.
I respect that. That's not a bad kill coming out for the Zeus. They were able to get 2. So, look, all in all, it's not a bad round coming out from Saw. The problem here is the economy basis. Yes, oh, great. You've got your AWP out for your AWPer, but look at the amount of FAMASas and look at the lack of utility. Not a single kit on that CT side. So, look, this full buy, this rifle round, I'm not pleased with at all from Saw. It could have been a better option just to go for a half buy and get the full rifles out going into the next, because for X-Smash, they're looking dominant in these last few rounds.
Yes, the Dodo. He's going for a bit of an aggressive player right now. And he's going to be met with a pretty nasty surprise. He does not see a single player here, whereas Roman, though, are they just going to push up the smoke like that? Oh, Shocks comes out top? What in the world?
That's insane. That was such a drive-by coming out from Shocks. The wide swing out through connector. Oh my goodness. Roman, he just didn't even see that coming. And well, they've set themselves up now for the B bomb site, and it's a couple of FAMASas to try and defend.
All right. There's gonna be X Smash just ready, waiting to now push in and get those frags. Just has some form of resistance thanks to his teammates, but they're also dropping dead. So that means will get themselves that 4th round. Dodo, of course, his main goal right now, and probably his only goal, and save that AWP, and it does look kinda likely, but there is one player on the hunt.
He's heard him at least, so at least the Dodo knows that Disco Doplin's going out towards long. Surely he doesn't try and hunt him here. Maybe he does.
Huh.
This is going to work out poorly. Ooh, good shot. Not bad. At least... Oh, now there's connector presence. This is getting scary.
Oh, okay. The Dodo is just out here. The frags.
That's like,
yeah, that's very important damage as well as being dealt.
But especially in terms of the economy, right? I mean, there was 4 players staying alive from X Smash, now only 2. Yes, the economy is in a pretty good way from X Smash, but if there were 4 players staying alive, then it would have been even better than what it is now.
Saw they're running out of money right now. The satisfying stat that even though they did have that could start here in the first half, right now it is a 5-4 scoreline. The Dodo could be the only player I think that could do some form of damage, and well, it kicks things off here on connector. It drops dead rather quickly, but it's a good thing that Roman recovers the op, so it can still be a big nuisance here for Smash.
And well, unfortunately, the AWP just finds nothing. And just the peaks coming out from connector, just at least is going to be able to take 1 member down, but all in all, trying to keep that AWP in play from Roman and trying to bring it into the next round has got to be the most vital element of round number 10. And well, X Smash, they're going to be able to tie us up.
That seems to be very likely. Honestly, that seems to be just about it. So, at one point, I believe they were leading this one 5-0, and now it is Smash that has picked up these last few rounds, and not much of a response right now from the Portuguese side. We actually did see a timeout come out at one point, so maybe we might see Saw take out the timeout if things keep on going in favor of X Smash, and why not? You got those timeouts, you better take them, because that's one of the more frustrating things at this level of Counter-Strike, that teams just don't really take the timeouts.
Yeah, I mean, it sometimes it boggles me, the fact that the teams in Tier 2 just don't use timeouts, and they're there for your disposal, and for Saw, I'd like to see one coming out. I'd like to see a bit of a change up. Look, you can make the exception. Yes, a lot of the time they haven't had the economy to be able to get a full buy-in, but it's no excuse. It's allowed X Smash to be able to tie us up at 5 rounds each. And I'd like to see some aggression. We saw a lot of aggression from them before. Try and see if they can take that map control. Especially in the pistol round, we saw how chaotic they can try and make it out through connector. At the moment, it just seems like they're playing too passive in the sides.
Let's see how it will play out here. I mean, I thought... Alright. I actually thought X Smash would change up the pace entirely, go out very quickly for some map control, but just look at the Molotovs that have come in here from Saw. They're making sure, they're taking every precaution to make sure this map control does not fall in favor of X Smash, and they're just going to keep on holding some very good angles right now towards the B bomb sit. In fact, this might give them confidence to peek around and see what's going on here in water.
Shox opens up that door. There is a boost ahead of him, but this is going to be potentially a flashbang of just to try and at least get some information out through connector. But no one's checking the angle. No one's checking it. Finally, Grux is going to turn around, but look at the damage that's been done.
Oh, how did no one check that angle? That is amateur hour. Oh no, this is not good. And this is professional beating hour. Saw, what a great round coming in from them. Of course, we've got to give props to that one push from Just that really ended up securing those 2 frags, leaving the 3rd player in very low in HP, and well, Saw do secure that 6th round. And see, the map control they've gone here towards B short really came into play right now, so I wouldn't be too surprised if Saw decides, you know what, we got success of holding some map presence over towards the B side, we might as well do it again. Why not?
Now, if you're going to take short control like that without a flashbang, you need to make sure that you're checking that angle. That was a huge play coming out from Justin. Well, X Smash, it didn't even look like they were expecting it whatsoever. A very good response coming out for the Portuguese side. And well, that might just be what they need to get the confidence to continue this momentum on the city side of Overpass. Now, going back to pretty passive holds for the moment, it wasn't until the mid-round that we started to see a little bit of aggression coming out. Oh, that molly, that could not have been timed any better.
Yeah, they wanted to go for the boost at that point. Ooh, that's really dissatisfying stuff. And Arky does not come out on top in that engagement. Disco Doppler, good headshot from him. Now, of course, X Smash, they have in the past trying to see what's going on here in the restrooms. This seems to be one of the rounds where they're just get to see what's happening here. What's going on here towards this part of the map? You want to clear it out. And Stododo, where does... Oh, it happened over here towards the B side. That's a good frag.
He killed the boosted player that was trying to look over towards the barrel's position. And now Roman's in the action. He's dropped the bomb. Finally, the trade comes out. But Saw, it's individuals making big plays. And he's going to hear the footsteps. Stododo needs to be able to win out this fight. And so he does. Bubble, 1 versus 3. He can't find anything. It's another great round on the rifles for Saw. X Smash, not even a bomb plant to come through.
Yeah, no bomb plan. This was one of those times where X Smash didn't even make their way into the bomb site and they got shut down by Saw outright. And what a perfect time to do so as well when you break the opponent's economy. But oddly enough, I thought that after doing 1 eco, they should have just enough money to get the purchase going. But X Smash actually decided to go for the force buy here. I mean, it's good to see that Bubbles got that AK-47, but the other players, I mean, it's pistols. It's some utility sprinkled in, but it's not a lot to work with.
That certainly isn't. X Smasher, this is like a do or die round, really. They lose this, they've got the chance of going down at only 5 rounds on the T side. It's quick presence that is shown out to the Falcons, but they go into connector and, well, just a straight spam coming out from Muteris. And now X Smasher kind of considering going back to the A-bomb side.
Yeah, I mean, that's the just great nature of having connector presence. You can go back towards the A-bomb, so back towards B if you want. But of course, where you'll be going is the grave, because Roman's on the other side. He does only find the 1, however. But the players will actually consider to back away. This is smart stuff from Saw. They're going to allow X Smash to take over the bomb site, but okay, that's a good tag. They're going to allow them to take over the bomb side, but they're more than ready and waiting to deal with some of these players. And X Smash, due to their lack of utility, they have to go for the engagements. That's a good one for Bubble. And now we do see more players chiming in, just Maturis, and now it's all up to Bubble. He's been having quite a difficult game thus far, but he needs to step up, but not in this round. It will be Saw to secure the victory, even though things got a little bit dicey here on the A side.
IGL versus IGL, Muteris being able to win out the fight. And I tell you what, I'm with you 100% there, Danny. That was really smartly played from Sword. They could have just kept fighting. They could have just allowed the rotations to come through. They could have just pushed through the smokes and kept fighting, but they fell back. They made sure they wanted to take it together as a unit, as a team, and make sure that they're winning out the round. 8-5 on the CT side. This is looking very strong now coming out from Saw. How much further can they take this lead? Because this is only the half buy once again from X Smash.
X Smash. Another round where the purchase is lackluster, but in this case, it's somewhat of a more partial investment. There's some pistols here and there, damage being dealt to Disco Doppler. In all fairness, it's not really looking too good here for X Smash. Not the way I expected them to end this first half. See if they can overwhelm Roman, though, who has been doing a stellar job here in toilets. It is rather difficult to be holding on to this part of the map. Okay, it is hard to do so when you're dead. Will be Saw now backing away from the A-side defensive. They're being overwhelmed. The pistols are just too fast.
Oh no, I can see this going very poorly now for Saw. They've got that man disadvantage. They can pick up the AWP out from Bank if they want to. Oh no, Bubbles now picked up an M4 and it's all falling apart. Arky gonna try and bring it back, but 2 on 3. Now they do have kits to work with and a little bit of utility. X Smash, oh my goodness, how have they done so much damage? This is insane.
They're doing it though. Arky, ooh, going for the wild spray, but he's solo on HP. Not really gonna stick it because he knows he's a gunner one way or the other. And X Smash, maybe they've just turned it around with a round like this. Pistols and whatnot, and yeah, they've overwhelmed the A-side defensive. it just really goes to show that, you know, these pistols, they've got one thing on their side, and that is mobility. They can move up so quickly, take over the side, get those frags in, and the CTs who have to play with their rifles in a proper manner get, at times, overwhelmed and cannot deal with the encroaching depth of those pistols.
And that round puts them right back into the game. That puts them in, you know, a position where they can really start to build up the pressure going into the second half. Fast press is absolute connector. Shox is going to be the first one to fall, and Grubs. Great hold coming out from Roman. And that is 2 unanswered trades to come out.
Right. Scodoplin, good frag here, and Roman. At least X-Smash can still get one more frag in. Would be nice if they could get a few more. It's definitely not the start they're looking for. Losing the players is never nice. Well, also running out of utility, which is also very dissatisfying. In fact, both teams honestly don't really have a lot of utility to work with, and we still have a whole minute and 5 seconds to work with. It's a little bit dissatisfying here for the side of X-Smash, but in this situation, when in doubt, walking out B seems to be the right call.
Oh, this could be very, very sneaky. I'm trying to give away no information. Bubble. See the scout towards heaven? I don't think he did.
Oh, he's gonna move in. Oh, this is so good. They catch them off guard. Saw. They're not even aware of what hit them. Perfect opportunity to plant that bomb. Maturis is still coming in the big flank, and with that bomb being planted, again, no defuse kits. Staboto doesn't even have armor, making them incredibly squishy, but Staboto, good frag here and fades. They're looking for the players here. Oh no, are they turning it around? Disco Doplin left standing, and Disco Doplin seals the deal as he puts Smash on 7 rounds.
Tell you what, X-Smash did not find that first half easy at all. They were really put up by a very good fight from Saw. But again, if I'm looking at individuals and making big plays, you kind of got to give the advantage to X-Smash. We've seen so many clutches coming out, so many big rounds to bring back disadvantages. A very, very close scoreline indeed. And what I'm wondering, Danny, is are we going to see the progression even continue for Saw, now knowing the fact they're on for the T side?
Oh, I wonder how it's going to play out indeed. I think for Saw, the most dissatisfying thing is that they didn't... I mean, they're in the lead, correct, but it's just by 1 round. They could have easily been in the lead by 2 or 3. Wonder if that's going to be in the back of their minds as they're moving into this first pistol round. Fates is just clearing things out and gets a nice 1-tap here on Arky. If you were Saw, I think they might have wanted to move in a little bit quicker, but now they've been slowed down due to that 1 headshot.
Good opening coming out for the X-Smash side. Now, it is a bit of fast presence coming out from a couple of the players out from long. Where is the commitment here? It's still quite defaulting over the map, and Fates, could he be on for a secondary kill? He falls back, but he doesn't get any information, but the T's know that he's now playing a little bit more passive on the side.
Yeah, okay, this is interesting now. Got Fates here playing on the bomb side by his lonesome. There's a lot of pressure now on Fate's shoulders to perform in this situation, because if he ends up dying, that's going to be the A-bomb set falling in the hands of the enemy. And now we see the rotation here from X-Smash. They're getting as close as possible to the site itself. They will allow their opponents to plant that bomb, but clearly they feel like they can actually still make this one work. They even have counter grenades by their side. They got the smokes and the flashbangs. Oh, Majuris, but he's also got the bullets. He does go down eventually. And now we can see the other players of Saw chime in. Staboto goes down. It's all up to Just, but he also hits the deck. And the players from Saw, even though they take over the bomb site, they cannot match the retake potential of X-Smash.
And I'll tell you what, X-Smash were lining up for a lot of utility to try and get them into the bomb site. They had a couple of smokes and quite a few, I think they had 3 flashbangs to work with, but considering Saw wanted to try and take the fight because they were playing so aggressively around Bank and around that dumpster position, X-Smash just tried to go straight in there. And, well, we saw some very nice trades coming out, some great pistol duels going their way, and they've been able to tie us up. Now, with that bomb plan going down, it will allow the force buy investment to come through for Saw.
Yeah, that definitely could be a likely thing to take place. Fates, oh, does go for the shot, but does not get the kill. It's very interesting as well that we have a situation where Saw, they came into this round they got the bomb plant, and their weaponry is almost equally as good to what X Smash has pulled out. That's just the nature of the new economy system, where the T's have got a good chance at trying to win around like this, though Fates missing crucial shots. It's a good thing that Shock's been able to step up, but Fates does want to back away. There's so many players coming his way, and yet he still holds his ground. Oh no, it's a disaster, as we do see Staboto with 2. Grux able to deal the damage, but now Saw will begin their advancement on the A side, or in fact, no.
Yeah, they're rotating B, and well, Shox is the only one here, but he does have a smoke, so at least can try and buy himself a little bit of time. And oh, look at the read. They're going back. All the CTs now they've got 2 on B.
Man, this is so weird right now. They've gone for the B side, and they've gone for the whole tour, the overpass. Lonesome Shox is here. The off angle is really good for at least the 1 kill, sometimes even 2. And Shox, is he going to be ready for this one? He should be more than aware of the upcoming push. The first, the second, they all fall together. Even gets the headshot on Staboto. Sadly, though, it's not going to be a kill. But for Saw, it's still an opportunity to win this round as the bomb is being planted.
Oh, Arky, his teammate gets naded down, so he's able to pick up the AK. The 1 versus 2, Bubble goes down and knows where the following player is, but Grux is going to be able to win it out. Another big clutch coming out from X Smash. And well, that's now going to put them in the lead. Now, I tell you what, we could certainly see the T-side forcing again. They got a bomb plan, and they killed 4 players, meaning the economy's low for X Smash.
Yeah, that's my thought exactly. We are definitely in a world where if Saw is feeling comfortable enough, they can absolutely go for the purchase. They can get themselves a few AK-47s, players on Galils, and there we go. It is. It's happening. There's the purchase coming out here from Saw. This could work out. I mean, that's the thing. The last round as well, it came incredibly close, thanks to the hold of Shox. If Shox ends up dying way too quickly there at the B bomb site, that's it. That's Saw's round to take. And we're moving on to round number 18. But because of that advanced positioning from Shox, X Smash managed to come out on top. But here, we'll see if the same circumstances apply.
Fates. Unfortunately, didn't see any of those players crossing over. So he's got no information. He's been tagged up. This could be the quick trade to come through, especially with his teammate going down. Well, look at the buy from the T side. It has worked wonders. And X Smash, they've got to be thinking about the save even at this point.
Yeah, you just have to go for it. That's also the nature of CS right now, that if you got a 5v3 close plant and you're the CTs, what's even the point of trying to attempt it? You're just going to be dying more often than not. So go for the save, keep that weaponry, and have it for the next round. Of course, your opponents will tie up the scoreline, but at the very least, you will still be dangerous with those free rifles at the helm.
A big round coming out from Saw, and well, for X Smash, I don't think they realized how far pressed up aggressively they were around that sort of bathrooms and banana position. One thing, Daddy, especially like when I started like doing more EU stuff, I had to like try and get all the Aussie comms out because the callouts are just completely different. That's one thing I love about CS. Is like different regions, man, just have different callouts for everything.
I just thought I had the assumption that everything was diggity. Apparently, apparently I'm wrong.
Everything is.
Oh, he's diggity.
Classic, absolute classic. Now, what is not so classic is that X Smash are having a pretty tough time on their own map pick.
Mm-hmm.
And for really, you kind of look at the kills that have gone their way, and there hasn't, for me at least, been a man that's been stepping up on a consistent basis. It's been individuals that have been playing at sort of an average, sometimes at a high level, but there hasn't been like a main carry or someone that's really bringing this game back and clawing the victory out for the X Smash side.
But isn't that just the story of X Smash in general, that you have this team of, when you see that, oh, these are some pretty big names, but there really isn't a hard carry person that, you know, every single game is going to be stepping up. It's not Disco Doppler. It's definitely not Fates. And at times it's now Shox, the youngster, that has been molded into his role. But this is, again, a big problem for a lot of teams out there, not just for X Smash, that, you know, Counter-Strike is a team game. You want to see your players perform on an equal footing if possible, but sometimes having that X factor, that one player that can pop off, he can win you not only just the rounds, but he could also win you maps, and he could even win you matches.
Yeah, certainly kind of two different styles of kind of how to build a team around. There's certainly some quite a lot of teams out there that have those star performers where they rely on them to be able to win out a lot of rounds and to be able to win out a lot of games. Whereas, sometimes it's the style of let's just try and work around as a team. We don't need an individual to step up because we've got our players that can at least stand up on an average basis, and we'll just kind of have that across the board. Now, I'm looking at going further into this first map, and I'm thinking, right, there needs to be someone, whether it's the AWP that comes out from Fates when they get the money line to find the impact, but at least going into the presence, there is a little bit of damage being done down to Stadoto.
Yeah, some damage. It's also, interestingly enough, not armed with an AWP. He still remains with the scout. I guess he's expecting that the opponents will be on an equal or half buy, that not all of them would have armor. Right now, Saw is doing a fantastic job at acquiring presence towards long, which is an area of the map that is completely abandoned by X-Smash.
Pretty easy map control coming through, and even with this long presence coming out, X-Smash have not even rotated this boost off from the banana position to quite deep into the sides. They're holding at the moment. It's going to be a fake, though. Oh, Disco Doppler. Look at the info he's going to get. This is big, but it comes down to timing.
Oh, and the timing is good. He should be able to catch at least one of these players. I mean, there we go. Just knife in hand. Oh, that was very interesting. It felt like he knew what was going on. He felt like, okay, maybe there is a player here. It ends up dying nonetheless. But X-Smash, though, looking very solid in this round. 25 seconds. There's really nothing Saw can do. And look at that. Not a single player ends up dying for X-Smash. And of course, that puts their economy in such a great state right now, because even if they end up losing, say, this upcoming round, they would still have more than enough money to reinvest, which is always great for the CTs.
That's a big round. I really like the play that, well, Disco Doppler's got a bit of a gut feeling that he can start to aggress out through a connector. A Saw. Not too often we see a round lost from them where X-Smash are able to keep that many players alive. Now it's back to the aggression, at least in terms of the short control. But you talk about aggression, look at the CT side. Look how far up Disco Doppler's pushed up around this park position.
Ooh, that is a very powerful spot to be holding if you're Disco Doppler. You might have to face a Black-Archy, but in this situation where the players from Saw have a lot of those individuals here to the B side, it will be a commitment here. There we go. Grux doing some fine work as he eliminates all three. Also, give Shock some shout out as well. He gets himself two, and it's another stellar hold from X-Smash.
This is now 2 rounds in a row where Saw have not got a bomb plan. They've not been able to get a single kill. So, I mean, you spoke about the economy of, well, if they lose that round, they'll still have enough money to buy. Look at it now. 5 players staying alive. Saw, they need to find more impact on the gun rounds. Especially now on the fact that they're going to be on a half buy, maybe a couple of upgraded pistols to have an eco. This is just going to mean the economy is going to be even more bolstered for the X-Smash side. And we're getting quite late into this second half.
Oh, yeah. This is now a scenario where the players from Saw begin to realize that, okay, this is where a lot of these rounds do matter. Especially here, the second half is coming to a close. They've gone for the timeout just for that reason. Right now, I mean, you might even have to go for double eco, which is incredibly scary. That you might have to give away basically 2 rounds for free, and then your opponents would be sitting on 13.
You're actually dead right. I mean, if they get a bomb plant, it's certainly going to help them, but can you really expect a bomb plant in a round where they've just got deagles? I mean, we have seen X-Smash do this on the T side, so there is that to take into account. 5 AKs on the CT side and 5 deagles on the T side. It's almost like it's been reversed here.
You can say that. Having those AK-47s on the CT side is always a blessing. Much more powerful weapon than your usual M4A4 or the M4A1S counterpart for that matter. Saw, of course, what they want to try to do in a round like this is try to close in the distance that's when the deagle is going to be the most effective. You can try to go for the one-shot headshots in these longer range encounters, but if you get as close as possible, basically deagle in your mouth, you can get yourself some 2 bullets in, and boom, the guy ends up dying. So Saw, if they can minimize the distance, they can still deal the damage, get those kills, and maybe put themselves in a winnable situation.
It's a good read coming out from X Smash, having 3 players around this long position, especially in the cutting corner that has not been seen yet. Fate's going to be able to swing out from the default boxes, Disco Doppelin, and will the sprays just come in. And again, this is now 3 rounds in a row where not a single kill goes the way of Saw. I'm getting very worried, especially in terms of their confidence.
Yeah, confidence is also a very important thing, and right now the fact that you've lost these 3 rounds in such a blowout manner, basically not standing a chance. Oh, that really has to hurt. But I think right now, if you're Saw, you're gonna forget the past and look forward at the present. You got yourself a very good purchase. You've got the AK-47s. You've got yourself utility. You can make this work, especially if you have the right tactic for this one. And X Smash have deployed some utility, and Fate is gonna play this one aggressively. Is he aware? Yes, he is. Gets himself one, and even the second one for Fates. Does end up dying in the process, but he didn't even have no backup though. The players are out here in connector. Bubble finds the one, and this round is falling apart, and we've seen it yet again. It's the Dodo. Good frag on Disco Doppelin.
Have they just turned up the heat? What's going on here? X Smash, it's like there's no tomorrow. They are playing lights out at the moment. These are so successful. Round after round, they are certainly running with confidence at the moment. Ambles to Dodo, 1 versus 3. This is going to be a very, very difficult clutch. There is a good advantage to work with now.
Dodo does have the bomb on his shoulders still. He would be on for the ace if he were to win a clutch like this. Both the players right now, Shocks and Grux, are playing this one together as to be expected. However, at some point, Shocks is still going to have to take a close eye of what's going on there in the A-bomb, so he cannot leave it like that. He has to keep an eye out, or at the very least, just keep an ear out of what could be taking place. But because the Dodo is being so careful right now, not even giving away a sound cue, they're only going to realize that he's on the side once he begins to plant that bomb, and it's going to be a little bit too late. There we go. There's a smoke, and now it's pretty obvious what's going on right now.
He can aggress. He can try and make his way into the bank position if he wants. Instead, he's going to fall back. Now, that bomb's not planted for him. If he rotates anywhere deeper towards that bathrooms and toilets area, it's going to make it very, very difficult for him to try and defend the bomb. And that's why he's relocated to the off-angle truck, turning into a 1 versus 1. But Grux is going to win it out. Another big round from X Smash. And I tell you what, we've seen some of these 1v1 clutches so often go the way of the X Smash side. And you just have to think, if only for Saw.
Oh, yeah, if only for Saw. It's that 1v2 we're talking about, makes it to the 1v1, and from there on out, it's anyone's game. But being stuck in the off angle, that's always the big choice you have to make. You might get yourself the first kill, but basically you're stuck in that position for the second one.
Double whoops. This is the first time we've seen it, Danny.
Yeah, that's really peculiar that X Smash have actually picked it up, because I can't really see that they really needed them beforehand. I mean, they were just doing a solid job without the double op setup.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised. I mean, we've certainly seen AWPing ability coming out from Disco Doppelin, but yeah, you're right. They've been very successful with the rifles. That it is a bit of an interesting change-up. Now, at least for Saw, they can probably not expect that this secondary AWP is going to come out, considering the fact that they've pretty much just been slaughtered these last 4 or 5 rounds.
Oh, exactly that. Being slaughtered is probably a good way to describe it. Flash being deployed, Disco Doppelin missing the first one. Ooh, and he's not even going to get a second chance. Bates, though, the other operator also coming in. Oh, he also is missing his shots. Finally gets the frag here on Muterus. But you gotta wonder, was that op investment really that worth it right now for Disco Doppelin? He gets caught out. Not a single teammate can really help him out in that position, and the two CTs are playing this one. Oh, it's a dangerous game. That smoke grenade is about to fade, and now here's the push coming in. Grux with two, in fact, does go down eventually, and now Smash know what's going on.
What a sick hold coming out from Grux, and he may have just been able to win them their 14th. And Spam trying to come through onto the planter, and now it's all down to Stododo. 1 versus 2. Can they be able to pull off another big clutch? They can't. And well, look, maybe the secondary AWP wasn't too successful, but Fate's one was. And look, it all comes down to the play from Grux. He could have played passive on the side, but he realizes we need to get this man advantage back. We need to make a play. And well, he steps up massively. He has a very, very big hold and allows the rotations to come up.
14-9. What a great scoreline here for Smash. No, yeah, just gonna be the 1 AWP. No double op setup in this time. It just didn't really make sense to pick it up. For a lot of teams, it's just like a last resort effort to go for that double op setup. And Smash didn't even play with the 1 op, so going for the double op, it just was a very weird choice, if I'm being honest. Maybe it was like a confidence play from their part that Disco Doppelin thinking, right, I'm doing a pretty good job with the rifle, might as well pick up the big green, and well, Saw very quickly are taking over presence towards Fountain. The problem is, however, look at X Smash. They're going to be holding on to B water for as long as they can.
Now, this is one of the most aggressive plays we've seen coming out from X Smash in quite some time. Do they able to convert the kill to Disco Doppelin? What? How does Muteris not win out that fight?
So dissatisfying. I mean, the crosser was dead on the guy, but hell didn't make it work. Doors haven't blown off, however, so Bubble got vision. Oh no, Bubble, you gotta pull that trigger. Finally gets the one. Not before his teammate ends up dying in the process. I'm sure Shock's not gonna be too happy about it.
Look at the long flank. Oh, it gets shut down. That could have won them the round. If they were able to take Fates down on A, that could have pulled the rotation out from the B players and committed the bomb to this B bomb site. But now, oh, Grux, timing.
Oh, just. The flash is in, but not before he gets the kill. And of course, they're not expecting Bubble. Alva Arky still moving into the site, however, 30 seconds. He's going to be looking for the engagement against Bubble, and well, he might just find it. Oh, there we go. Arky gets the kill here in Bubble, and he has just enough time to punch in those digits and plant that bomb.
Bates, this could be another big clutch for X Smash. We've seen them do it time and time again. I can't even count how many times we've seen some of these clutches go their way. And Saw, they are begging for a round. Only 1 round has been converted on this T side. This could be the play to deny the map point from coming through. Fates, I'm just going to tap the bomb. Arky with a flashbang trying to show a bit of presence out from short. And he's at least trying to buy some time. But Fates is not going to be able to win it out. Finally, Saw, they get to double digits. And they find their 2nd round on the T side.
Yeah, there we go. 2nd round being picked up in some time now, honestly. You know, definitely some time. Saw not out of this one just yet. Out of the woodwork. As for X Smash, I mean, one of the things we were talking about is the amount of money they've accumulated. Though right now, that money is dwindling. That money account is turning out to be very thin. So honestly, the winner of this one could more or less force their opponent on a very awkward purchase in the upcoming round. So this matters quite a bit for X Smash. But if Saw can do it, then that could force them to minimize the score line. Oh, Bubble, that's a good frag to be being picked up. Not the sort of star player you expect from X Smash, but it's good to see Bubble stepping up in times of need.
And absolutely, the in-game leader really showing the true colors. That's this big, big kill. And now we'll Saw, that's their single lurk over to the A bomb site just dealt with. They're all grouped up for a B site execution. Not a lot of utility to come at. Flashbang's perfect. Shocks does go down, and the trade kills, they keep going the way of Saw.
Oh, this is good. This is very good right now for the players. However, they have slowed down on the advancement, allowing Disco Doppler to get in position to find at least the one. There's going to be a few more angry Saw players that will make sure that they secure this round. Good one here. Oh, damage being dealt. Disco Doppler missing the jump. And this is just going from bad to worse until Fates comes in. Gets the frag here on Roman. Now it's up to Stradodo. Oh, this is good. He's got the angle. He's got the kill. And he's got the round for Saw. 11 in their favor.
Oh my. Oh my. This is what, 2 1 versus 1s that have now been won from Saw in a row. Oh, that was a big clutch. Very, very big. How did he find that second kill? That was such a nice adjustment coming out from Fates, but just not expecting the short presence. And the AWP winning out yet another round for Saw. And you spoke about the economy game, Danny. It's only going to be upgraded pistols for X Smash.
Yeah, that's just the nature of that round. So many implications. Being able to win it, that's great for X Smash, but being on the receiving end does put them in a weird state of affairs. See though, Saw really respecting their opponents right now. Look at how far back they're playing, but it's still not gonna matter. Bubble somehow gets the frag and one. Grux as well. This is not the type of round you want to lose if you're Saw. And so far, X Smash, they've done a lot of damage, and now they can begin to just play the mind games, really. Just the fact that they've come out on top here with these few shots with the Deagles will definitely force Saw to be very cautious on their approach.
Saw lose this round, they've lost this map. They've got absolutely no money in the following round. And this is a great start. Now, they've bypassed Connector and Disco Doppler. He hasn't got any information, but if he swings out at the right time, it's the Dodo's got the bomb. But Disco Doppler, I thought he was going to go up perfectly, but he doesn't.
Unlucky timing. If he would have gone up the stairs, he would have found himself some very easy frags. And now, Saw has made their way to the bomb site, so that bomb plant does come through. It's just that for Smash to try and retake this one. Oh, hello, Disco Doppler gets the frag here and just. He's going to be looking for more. A player just walks into his crosshair, however. Maybe X Smash still has a chance. Nope. Not looking too good. With no defuse, these frags need to come in ASAP. And oh, Disco Doppler gets his again. Now Roman needs to get this one done. The grenade is being chucked in. It deals the damage. And Roman goes down. And there's going to be just enough time on the defuse. And X Smash, of all the rounds they could have won, it had to be the one with pistols, hadn't it? Oh my.
You really feel for the guys from Saw. Man, they have not found this easy in the second half, and well, they allow themselves a bit of a comeback, and it just gets instantly responded by not even the rifles. It's the Deagles. And look, that bomb plant, it helps them a lot. But there's only a single AK. The rest are all out for Galils.
Come on, Saw. They're gonna have to try and make this one work, even with the investment that this one is. See, there's gonna be a few players trying to go for this one. Connector presence seems to be part of the game plan here for Saw and for Smash. There is one player, Roman, there. Could try to deal damage. Uh-oh, Bubble, he pops up, but he does not see the player. And now, of course, you have Disco Doppler, who's stuck there in such a horrible position. Actually evades the bullets and remains with his life intact, oddly enough. And obviously, in this situation, probably Fates should give the off to Disco. And yep, that is exactly that. Bogdan's Law. That's a classic.
X Smash. Now, really, what they need to be doing here, Danny, is trying to get aggressive. They need to try and force that 4-on-4 back into an even playing field. Because really, once this site execution comes through, all the advantages are going the way of Saw. Disco Doppler has rotated up to the A bomb site with the AWP that was picked up. Ooh, and he spotted a bit of info.
Ooh, Disco Doppler's gonna have to do some heavy lifting, and the most important thing is that he's not even looking towards long. Now he is. The Molotov is here. Of course, he gets killed because of it. And now the ace side has crumbled, with the 2 defenders being eliminated. Brooks and Shocks have an impossible task at this one. Feels like they want to try to go for this one. 20 seconds. Brooks moves in, does lose that engagement, and their hopes of winning this round have dwindled. 12 15. This is turning out to be an incredibly close game here. Even though X-Smash, they seem to be still in the driver's seat, you have to admit that Saw is in a pretty good position right now.
They really are. They are in a very strong position to allow this comeback to come through. I mean, you look at the amount of kills coming up now for Stadoto, 28 and 16, having a fantastic game in this first map. They need to see more. They need to have players stepping up, and they need to allow this comeback to come through, because it will be a force by attempt to come out from X-Smash. It's only a couple of M4s and a scout to work with some upgraded Deagles. Quite passive coming out from the CT side. Disco Doppler is going to be able to strike them first.
And his last for this round, at least. He ends up dying here to the hands. Oh, okay, there we go, to the hands of Maturius. But Roman also able to step up. Remember, this is an investment here from X-Smash. They've gone all out to try and make this one work. Except for Disco Doppler, though. He still has $1,500 in his pocket. Lucy, of course, trying to pincer in. Shocks not getting the frag. However, is Bo gonna peek out? Oh, he goes down because of it. That scout is not too good for the close range encounter. That's another kill for Saw. And suddenly, this round is going in their favor. 13 will be upon them, and maybe even 14. I mean, again, what is the issue X-Smash have to face with? Is money. It is a really horrible state for them.
That's their biggest challenge at the moment. And honestly, overtime's certainly on the cards here. This is going to be a 13th up for Saw. It can't be a force buy to come out from X-Smash. It has to be the complete save to get the rifles out into the last. My goodness. So it seems like just these last little rounds towards the back end of the second half, they're just holding on.
Yeah, this seems to be one of the things here for a team like Saw, that these latter stages are incredibly difficult for them. But at the same time, I'm surprised that they're, trying to make this comeback a reality. It really helps for them that their opponents the past few rounds just kept on force buying, and now this is where they have to go for Nico. They absolutely must. I mean, if you're X-Smash and you try to invest into this one, that is really dangerous game to be playing. Right now, if they go for the eco, it still shows us they've got the confidence, that they've got what it takes to even close things out here. I mean, worst case scenario for them, though, is that we do go to overtime. If we do, however, you have to admit that Saw would have somewhat of an advantage in that situation.
I'll tell you what, they're going to get 2,400 in the next round. It's certainly not going to be a massive amount of money. They can potentially drop an AWP down from Disco Doppler onto Fates. But it's not going to be one of the strongest buys in the world.
They are trying to go for him in here. X-Smash. You see a bit of a rotation as well. We do see some map control coming in towards B short. Of course, it's probably in a round that it doesn't really matter that much. But this is where you have to go for something a bit more audacious, something a bit more unorthodox. Maybe you can catch some of these players off guard, maybe you can get a kill, but we can see that Just is just ready and waiting for the opportunity to get a few frags here. The first, and maybe even the second one. Grux is right around the corner, and that even eliminates the AK-47.
That could have been big to bring the AK into the next round, because that means it's again another weapon they don't have to upgrade. But now the fact is, well, they've got no choice. They have to buy rifles down on 5 players going into the next. Good thing coming out to Muteris as he goes down quite low. But Saw just reading the game really well, waiting for the aggression to come out from the CT side. And they are running down the clock quite low as they try and make their way onto the A-bomb site. 30 seconds left, and, well, no one should go down. Roman does at least go down to the Deagle of Shocks, but this comes to really what is the most important rounds of Overpass.
Absolutely. 14 to 15. This is going to be a scenario where, oh my, if they can close this one out here, X-Smash, that's going to really lift some weight off their shoulders. But it does go to 15-15. I see a scenario in which you might have even difficulties closing it out here in overtime, considering they had so many opportunities to do so in the past. Whenever you go to overtime, it should be a mental reset for both teams, but if anything, that would be a great opportunity for Saw to reset and then close it out in OT. But before that, we need to see them get there, and we do see some aggression over towards the B-bomb side, but they're not really committing there just yet.
This is a lot of aggression coming out from X Smash. Bubble is alone out from short. This is going to be a one-on-one aim duel against Muteris. Oh, and he wins it out. He gets that 5-on-4, but for Saw, they have not even seen the pressure coming up around this party area. And well, there's going to be a couple of T's at least trying to check it out. Disco Doppler, he gets a flashbang from a teammate. He could swing on contact, and he's heard those footsteps.
Oh, the footsteps haven't heard it. Disco Doppler, the off angle, so good for the one. There will be players to try and punish him, and Disco Doppler, he should begin to look to his right-hand side, but oh, there we go. That's the setup. He has Fates watching his behind, and Disco Doppler swings out to die in the hands of Arky. But this is a good situation for X Smash. However, Arky looking to challenge Fates with the op. Does not see the player just yet, but they might even try to go for long, where there's another surprise ready and waiting for them.
And Grux is going to hear these footsteps. Oh, he actually backs off at the wrong time, so maybe he doesn't hear them. Oh, but he repositions at the perfect time, and no one is checking this angle. Grux lines up the first. Can he find any more? Cannot trade it out, but it's a 1 versus 3 attempt to come out from Just.
Yeah, that's really what it is right now. It has to be the 1v3. Not gonna be too easy here for Just, but it feels like he is gonna try to go for this one at least. See how he can do, and well, he cannot. That will finally be a victory here for X Smash. 16-14 on Overpass, and this was definitely a lengthy affair, considering this was just the first map of the best of 3.
Oh, Danny, I think we're in for a really special best of 3 here. That was so down to the wire. And really, we could have been going to OT, but it's not going to be the case. It's 16-14, a fantastic result coming out from X Smash. They didn't find it easy, though. And look, going forward into this series, I mean, a lot of people certainly would have put X Smash as the favorites, but I'll tell you what, they did not find that a walk in the park.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't too easy, but we'll have to see how this best of 3 plays out. Join us for the second map, as we'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Danny, we're back, mate. We're back with map number 2. What a performance we saw there from Saw to at least bring it very close in that first map, but it was X Smash to take it 16-14. Look, I want to know, going into Nuke, do we think it's going to be as close as it was on the first map?
Ooh, that's a very interesting question, honestly. It's very interesting in the sense that if you take a look at it, the fact that, oh yeah, Nuke saw his map pick, they seem to be pretty decent on it as well, sure. But I honestly think that it's going to be somewhat gutting for them that they actually ended up losing it 16-14. If you're X Smash, you're going to be feeling nice. We actually were able to close it off, and we're going to be feeling pretty good about ourselves heading into a map like Nuke. Whereas a team like Saw, I think they might be very dissatisfied. They didn't manage to close it out, and that could really affect them mentally moving into that second map.
Now, one thing I kind of want to touch on a map like Nuke is, well, we saw Stododo having a huge map. He went positive 12 kills, he went 29 and
Mm.
17 on that first map of Overpass. Now, the AWP is somewhat not as prevalent, especially, like, you can't really T-side AWP on Nuke. You can't find too much impact with it if you do go for it. And especially on the CT side, it's not a map like Overpass where you can have a lot of freedom. So I wonder for Saw, going into this and kind of looking at it, thinking, okay, how much impact is he really going to have trying to bring this AWP out?
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously, when we're talking about a player like Stododo, that's one of the great things about him that he was doing a fine job with the AWP. But on a map like Nuke, T-side opening is really difficult on a map like Nuke. It's basically is you either have to go for outside or some of the areas of the map that you go for will just be just too difficult, honestly. So on the CT side, maybe Stododo can find a bit more impact with the op. But yeah, if he's going to try to do some opping on the T side, it is almost mission impossible.
Yeah, look, obviously, have a look at that bracket. We did see that it was Illumina, I believe it was, to be able to get the first map in the best of 3 series against the Hard Legion side. So the
Yeah.
loser of this game will play the winner of that game, and the winner of this game, well, they'll go on to the playoffs.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, so
yeah.
absolutely, here in this matchup, the upper bracket, geez, I still don't know. We're still banking on the fact that Smash comes out on top, but after seeing them play here in Overpass, I can't say that I have the same level of confidence anymore. I can't really say that I have them winning this 100%. I can now see a world in which Saw can maybe even pull off the upset here in these next few maps.
Look, we need to see confidence straight out of the gate coming out from the X
Mm,
Smash side. Now, one thing that I was really impressed with, we saw maybe 3, 4, 5 rounds, sort of in like the middle stage of that second half, where they looked dominant. They were winning, like, 5 players staying alive. There was just so much confidence. They were going for all these peaks. They were playing very aggressive. They were hitting really great shots. Now, that needs to continue because from what I saw in Overpass, that style was not on a consistent basis whatsoever.
yeah, that's maybe a bit of a problem now. Also, after a map like Overpass, the fact that we're heading on to Nuke, where some of these duels or some of these round wins could come down to just simple executes, like just players running out of Blue Hut onto the upper bomb site, or just players rushing down ramp and hitting the lower bomb site. This is where, again, a map where I see individuals really needing to step up, honestly. And what's a big problem for both of these teams is that there was a pretty big disparity when it came down to the highest fragged individuals and the lowest fragged individuals. I mean, in the case of Saw, you had Spoto, but apart from that, there wasn't really a member of this team that could potentially put in the same amount of impact. Same goes for Smash. I mean, you had Grux having a great game, but then you had the other individuals that didn't have the same level of performance. Now, if only either team saw Rick Smash could actually have their players firing at all cylinders, then they'd have a much better run in this upcoming map.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for Saw, I mean, you mentioned it a little bit earlier in the pregame, Danny, that, they're probably going to be a little bit disheartened that they weren't able to get that victory on Overpass. And really, for me, I need to see them coming out on full force. Like you said, you can certainly have some quick upper takes on the T side, try and use that aggression, which they were very successful in first the Dust 2, Best of 1, and obviously on Overpass, which you can't really get too much aggression of, but we still saw it. So, look, for Saw, I want them to forget about the first map, okay? It was close. You could have won it, but it doesn't matter because you didn't. You've got to look forward to this
Yeah.
second map of the series and you've got to think, right, okay, let's forget about what happened on that first map. Let's try and figure out exactly what we need to do to try and get off to a good start, try and get some early momentum because, well, they've been able to do that quite a fair bit, is get off to good starts.
Yes, that's one of the things that I guess comes down to this team maybe being somewhat more momentum based, because once you actually see them winning rounds, it's not going to be one round here, one round there. It is going to be them winning just round after round after round in a very consecutive manner, which absolutely is great when you can actually start winning these rounds. Like everyone's pumped. I'm sure they're just shouting and whatnot in their communication platform of choice. But the fact is that once you end up, say, having a bit of a mishap here or there, I'm sure the communication level also hurts because of it. That just somehow ends up being in Counter Strike when momentum is high, everyone's communicating, everything's great. But once you go into face some kind of bump in the road, that's when someone's gonna not communicate as well. The communication is gonna falter, and some of the players not gonna be feeling as comfortable as they once had been.
No, you make a fantastic point, and that was something that I suppose we've seen from both sides is like that they're very momentum based, and that once they get some momentum going, once they get some confidence, we see some great things, but they can be shut down very easily. Now, one thing that I certainly will think is going to be more prevalent on a map like Nuke than it will be on Overpass is how many of these upgraded, half by Deagle rounds we saw being successful on Overpass. And well, really, I think that we may be able to see that going into the second map of Nuke.
Well, one of the things we're going to be taking a look at right now, folks, is of course the game that is now going into fruition. Have the ninth round being played out here, and about like Nuke, I'm almost certain that if you want to be starting on one of the areas, it is probably the CT side. Though nowadays, it has become not that much of a surprising factor to see someone on the T side actually come out on top with 6 or 7 rounds. That has become somewhat more standard here in Nuke.
It certainly has. It's great to see that Nuke is obviously not like it used to be quite some time ago, and that being able to get more than 2 T rounds is fantastic. So, look for the T side of Nuke. It's obviously going to be the Saw side starting off on the T side. So, look for them. I want to see some early momentum. I want to see them getting into the face, taking some quick presence out towards ramp. A couple of these quick site executions, rather than the slow and methodical. You're outside smokes. You're taking map control outside. Use what you find to be your biggest advantage, and that's aggression.
Oh yeah. On a map like Nuke, it lends itself pretty good to some aggression and some really fast rounds that can be played out. That's something we want to see from Saw. We want to see them play it out as they used to do it in the past, as they did show us on a map like Dust 2, where they were playing so aggressive against a team like Hard Legion. It felt like they were caught off guard in some instances, and Hard Legion didn't really have much response. In fact, for 13 or so rounds in a consecutive manner.
Well, that's an interesting point. Okay. Interesting. Well, going forward, we obviously have seen the X Smash side being able to pick up map number 1, Daddy. So if by chance they are able to convert Nuke, that will mean that they will be advancing off to the playoffs in a 2-0 fashion. So for Saw, they need to try and convert this to take us to a tie-up and to take us to the third map of the series.
All right, let's see. We're going to be seeing, in fact, 2 players. This is pretty odd. 2 players from Saw had invested in the HE grenades. One of them has already been chucked in by Disco Doblin, I believe. Not really sure where it landed. And then you have the other one in the hands of Fates. Now, Rex might be the only player to face some of the initial engagements here from X Smash, but even they are playing this one rather safe.
Fast play out towards Ramper, and we spoke about the aggression. Look how quick that is on the entries to find those opening kills. Well, Shox is going to be the first player to go down. The T's continuing the pressure out towards the lower bomb side. And for Saw, so far this has been a great opening from them. But Bubble, he's going to be able to chime back.
Oh, there we go. Even have some players here moving up the upper bomb site. This is the whole game plan all along, it seems like. Finally, they've taken over the bomb site. And that bomb plan will be done here by the terrorists. And Fates and Grux feels like they want to try to go for this one, but it will be rather difficult.
Now, let's see if the retake can come on. And so far, Saw the post plant looking very, very solid indeed. And Grux is going to be the last one left, and well, he can't even find anything with that. So a first round going the way of the Portuguese. Now, that is a great start to start things off, considering the fact that it's the T side and it's your opponent's map pick.
Oh, yeah. This is it's really what you want to do in a round like this. And of course, However, I do believe the names are a little bit messed up, though, because
Yeah.
we do have the players from X Smash here in the C decided they regarded it as sauce. So it looks like there's going to be a bit of a need to refresh the team names. And yeah, we're going to be seeing how it should properly be that it is X Smash that ended up losing the first pistol round. And of course, for the terrorists here, you have picked this map here, Sauce. We're expecting great things out of them. Sharks right now. Is he really gonna go for this one? Yeah, he is. He's moving in down with the eagle of his. Oh no, oh no. He will be going down without giving much of a fight. His teammate Grex though chucks in that grenade, but it's not gonna be too significant. Just some damage being dealt in Arky, but no kill.
Now you'll have to carry it away from me. Unfortunately, having a bit of technical issues here, Danny.
I do see right now that players trying to go for this one. At this point, the players of X Smash slow down quite a bit. I mean, the CT, they're not really aggressing, which is the one thing I wanted to see, some aggression coming out there from X Smash, but that does not seem to be the case. They have slowed down quite a bit. They do have the 2 scouts at play, which now I understand why the aggression isn't that viable as it probably could be. So now the players from SAW are just walking out here on the upper bomb side. There are a few players they have to face, and yet as they're clearing out this side, they're not seeing a single individual, which is perfect for them, as now they can plant that bomb like it's nothing.
And, well, for X Smash, just making their way into the upper bomb site, it seemed pretty easy for them, a pretty easy walk through. And, well, hang on a minute. No, it's actually SAW that was the one that was making their way through to the upper bomb side. Now, this is probably just going to have to be a save coming out for the X Smash side. They do have quite a lot of upgrades. Obviously, the double scouts out for both Fates and Grux, the upgraded Deagle, and armor for Bubble. 2-0 lead. This is good stuff.
Yeah. This is pretty good stuff right now for their side. I mean, at this point, this seems to be just the most logical assumption as well. I mean, once you realize that the bomb set has fallen so quickly, and it's just become a very much standard affair here in Counter-Strike, modern day CS in particular, that I remember when I was also taking a look at the 9 to 5, I also remember this one point that nowadays in Counter-Strike, there's just a lot more saves going on for a few reasons. First of all, teams have just begun playing a lot more smarter nowadays. They're doing a much more better job at managing economy. And second of all, with the new economy system, if you end up saving 3 or so weapons for the majority of the time, maybe even 2, that's going to be more than enough to get that purchase out. So that is why saving has become such a common thing in Counter-Strike.
Oh, we have seen the play towards the lower bomb site coming out for the T side, and hasn't really been met with any contact just yet, but there are a couple of players towards lower. And SAW just making sure to use their utility to try and force any of the lower players back. So they do have a lot of map control. Obviously, Muteris towards outside around that secret position. They do have some options. If they want to try and regroup with him, they can take the ramp presence and take the bomb lower. Still kind of deciding what they're going for at this point.
Oh boy. This is a rather peculiar situation here. The players from SAW are entering the bomb side of a Disco Doppler. He has the high ground, but that is not enough to get a kill. Though Grux and Fates are able to chime in with a few. That's not too shabby. They're dealing the damage here in SAW. Fates is getting as close as possible, but he will be punished because of it. The MAC-10 is superb in such ranges, and that is turning out to be a 3-0 start here for SAW.
Very good start indeed. We did see at least a bit of damage being done to the Portuguese side, but now it comes down to the rough round. This is really all important for X Smash to get that momentum, get back into the game, because at the moment 3-0, it is a very good stance to be SAW.
It's very good for them with that 3-0 start. Fates has picked up the big green. It's interesting though that if all the players that seem to be capable of opting in this team, it is going to be Fates, not Disco Doppler. Speaking of which, who ends up dying super rapidly here towards the ramp position. Now we even have a couple players going down the vents as well. This is not looking good whatsoever for Smash.
Saw are just everywhere at the moment. They find that opening pick, they allow the vent dive to come through, and that kind of puts some question marks in the hands of the X-Smash side. What do they do here? Do they try and rotate a second player to lower to back up the teammate that's already down there of Grux? But this could be the fake towards lower and the upper bomb site take once again. We've seen it time and time in these last few rounds for Saw. And even just to try and play the mind games at the moment.
Mind games so important right now. Ooh, oh no! Mind games are important, but you also gotta get your reflexes checked here, Grux. It does not get that engagement in his favor, and Saw absolutely in a position to secure themselves this round victory. They've got the lower bomb site, and I mean, if you're X-Smash, the choice here is pretty obvious. Abandon all hope, abandon ship, and focus on a new horizon. You just gotta save those weapons for the next time again, because now Saw has full presence of the site.
And well, you spoke about the saves. I mean, especially on a map like Nuke, very difficult to rotate between the upper and lower bomb sites, especially once the T's have got some very deep control in the post plant. And this is going to be yet another round going the way of the Portuguese side. X-Smash really not finding anything, not even a single kill. And it comes off the map territory. We're seeing so much map control going the way of the T side.
Okay, Fates. Fate. Ooh, okay, that's...
What?
I mean, I wonder if he would have survived if he had just stayed in his position. If he hadn't picked the player, I don't think there's enough time to actually eliminate Fates in that angle.
Damn, that makes it really rough now. Holding on to 2 M4s and an AWP going into round number 5 would have certainly been able to do a lot of damage, but now, well, they can't really. Well, it's at least one rifle gone, so Saw, they actually do a really good job of being able to take that AWP out from Fates. But you're right, maybe an overextension there. If he fell back, probably would have been able to hold on to it.
Right. This is a situation where they have to try and go for something balls like bubble right now. Uh-oh, he's even spotted. Clearly, those bullets are flying in his vicinity for a good reason, and well, yep, he's definitely been spotted. He's gonna try to retreat, however, gets the headshot here in Roman, which is quite nice, but being behind the red container does make his life very difficult. Dodo, good frag here on Grux, and now they can begin to move in the lower bomb site yet against the Dodo with another frag coming in. Forget the AWP. AK-47 is what he needs.
Yeah, this T side's looking really, really nice at the moment. And, well, for X-Smash, they do at least still hold on to those 2 rifles that were saved in from the last round. See if they can do some more damage onto them from both Shocks and Bubble. That's a good kill coming out from Disco Doppler. This is a 3-on-3. Still very doable for the X-Smash side, but Saw, they're out of there. They're going to try and wrap Heaven into that upper bomb site.
Oh, yeah. This is where, right, nice shot there coming in from Shocks. There's going to be a few more players to contest with. Shocks is doing a fantastic job right now. Disco Dolphin as well, getting the frag. And well, here we go. That will be the first round to go in favor of X-Smash, even though the start of it was rather jittery, but can't really blame them. I mean, they come into this round with just a few rifles, the other players on pistols, and yet they're the ones to come out on top.
A great response coming out from X-Smash, and well, at least that's going to give them a little bit of confidence, because really on their opponent's map picker, they've got to be looking at least 9 rounds, I would say, on the CT side if they want to be able to make this a competitive map. This could be the turning point. It's going to be difficult, especially to try and break the economy for the T side. There are a few players that are built up around that 4K mark. This just could be the upper take to come out from Saw. We haven't seen a quick upper take so far yet.
Right. Ooh, this is a fast upper take right now. Shocks only getting the 1. And for Saw, that's all they needed to do. They needed to find these 2 frags here in the upper bomb site, and we can see that the fence has fallen. It has crumbled under the pressure of Saw. Rux can actually recover the AWP, which is probably something he's gonna focus on doing. There we go, the opposite his hands, and again, it comes back to the same situation where I mean, if you're ballsy enough, you could try to go for a 2-on-4 like this, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense. With the new economy, it's not like your money has been reset. You could try to save those weapons, but That's a problem. Mutrus actually gets the frag here in Disco Doppelin, so now with one weapon being saved, the purchase would not be as good. Grux gets the frag on Mutrus, and I don't think if you're Saw, you want to try and challenge this guy any further.
Well, I tell you what, X-Smash, they're in a world of pain at the moment, really struggling in a lot of these rounds in the first half. And, well, that's the first time. I mean, Danny spoke about it a lot in the pregame, about potentially seeing these quick upper takes coming out. It wasn't a complete rush, but it was the quickest A-site execution we'd seen yet. And, I mean, those entries, they didn't even have time to get the rotators in. It was so quick.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. That's what we want to see from Saw, right? We want to see them played fast and loose and aggressive. They're doing all of that. It's really working out for them. See if they can keep it up, though. That's the important part. And well, I mean, that is a stellar start yet again. Devoto has been playing some really good Counter-Strike on the first map, and he seems to be continuing to do so here on the second one as well.
Well, we saw some aggression to try and come out from Bubble, see if he can find an opening man advantage. Now, that was a vent dive that I don't know if the CT side knew about. Very, very cheeky. We've seen quite a lot of rounds. We've actually seen the vent dive coming in. That's Arky towards that lower bomb site, around that decontamination area. Oh, and he could take down the AWP. Fades. Oh, what a shot from the CT side.
That's good for Fates. That is a nice shot to get. A nice kill, most importantly. Goblin, though, the off angle. Oh, he's not even going to check it, though. He's going to allow these players to walk past by him. He should be able in position to at least get the one. Maybe he can spot out the player by his glimpse. No, he doesn't see Muterus jumping up there up the heavens. Uh-oh, this could be disastrous here for X-Smash. Oh. And it is. Muterus gets the frag here in Crux. Right now, they have plenty of time to commit, but hold on just a sec. Disco Doppelin, finally! He springs into action to get the one, and Muterus needs to back away from this one because he knows all hope is lost as he's now left by his lonesome in the one-on-3. Maybe he can just get a few more kills, deal the damage here, and he's got awareness of Disco Doppelin. Seems like, and Muterus gets the frag on one. With just 10 seconds remaining, this round is lost.
I'll tell you what, that's actually very surprising that X-Smash win that out, considering the fact that they've got a garage player, Disco Doppelin, does not expect or even see the heaven wrap that comes in. And for Saw, they had all the advantages. They had a lot of map control. They got very lucky on the timing. But the trades, it came out like an instant.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about it. Because at one point, you can see Muterus there having the heaven position. You're thinking, right, this is superb. He kills the guy come up the ladder. Even though Disco Doppelin remained silent for the majority of that round, it was at the very end where he probably peeks out, spots a few guys, gets those frags. The guys on the A side as well chiming in, and Fate's also getting an op kill here in Roman. Good stuff here for X-Smash. Saw right now still have thrown down the wall of smoke, so that's going to allow one player to sneak past through the defensive. Let's see how much success can Muterus find here, being alone and all of that.
Good opening coming out from X-Smash. Re-smoke out for Squeaky. Oh, Terrace. He looked like he wanted to try and make his way into secret. He's actually now gone outside. Oh, and he takes down Fates 4-on-4. He's brought that advantage.
Oh, but Bubble brings it right back. Sharks close by it. AK-47. Oh, goes down to Arky. That's a bit of a shame. Thought Sharks is in a prime position. Now Bubble is really going to need to step up right now. One kill and the second one for Bubble. Pulls out the USB. Gets in for, having a difficult time recovering a weapon, but no worries here for Bubble. He does his job, stands his ground, and picks up the 3. And this is actually quite nice to see, you know. Feels like every single player from X-Smash is now having his moment of brilliance, which is absolutely important here on the CT side of Nuke.
No, that's a really nice display coming out from Bubble. We did see him drop his M4 trying to pick up that AK. It was a little bit too far. But look, he had the teammate support, which is obviously the most important point. 3 AKs up on the CT side. And this is a force coming out from Saw. It's not the strongest of force buys. And they've only got a single AK.
No, this purchase is not looking too good, but it's the most optimal purchase to go for plays like this. This advancement of the A bomb side, Bubble back sight this around the utility usage is superb, and Shucks, he pushes through the smoke, has to check so many angles, and well, we have a few frags coming in for X Smash, but overall, Saw have got the advantage, and Fates goes down eventually. Now, it is going to be a victory here for Saw again. When this is just how it is, especially here in a map like Nuke, when teams don't necessarily have a lot of utility, have good weaponry. One of the things you can do is just go for a fast play on the upper bomb set. That is exactly what Saw decided to do, and it worked out perfectly.
I'll tell you what, Bubble was so blind towards the back of the side.
Yeah.
I mean, there must have been 2 or 3 flashes that just completely blinded him, and that's obviously one of the most important factors when you go for these upper sites is the flashes. You need to make sure that the defenders are blind, and it allows you to ease up on the entries. And for X Smash, I mean, even once they'd lost the site, the amounts of incendiary damage that was done, the mollies, they were everywhere. Very, very chaotic as X Smash just keep trying to fight. They keep trying to make their way into the site and push through. And, well, that's reset the money for the CTs.
Yeah, it's also the economical implications of this round. There's going to be, well, Bubble having the M4. This could dolphin on some armor, but really, this is not looking good for X Smash. This is also the CD side of Nuke we're talking about. X Smash still needs to get at least a few more rounds on the board. Really, Free is simply not going to cut it. And Bubble, I kind of like the fact that he's being a bit more proactive here on Nuke. You know, in Overpass, he was rather silent. He wasn't really in a lot of great positions to win or actually even get some frags. But now here on Nuke, he seems to be revitalized.
And quite aggressive outside. Unfortunately, will he find anything Muteris? It looked like he wanted to check the angle, but in the end, it will be the M4 to win out. And I tell you what, considering that Bubble finds that kill with an M4A1S, Saw might think they're up against a force buy.
Yeah, that's gonna actually really change up the way they approach this one, but no, they're just gonna run down the lower site, and so far, so good. Heads are rolling, but Bubble is here again. Very swift rotation from him. Oh, actually thought he might get the frag here in just, but no. Shocks and Disco Dolphin remain. They're only with the pistol, so for Saw, that is very minimal resistance, all things considering. Disco Dolphin get frag here in 1. Now it's all to Shocks, 1v2. Arky is quite low in HP, and well, looks like he wants to go for this one, Shocks. But now both players, they know where Shocks is coming from.
Try and isolate some of these frags, but it's not going to come through. And I mean, one point you just mentioned there, Danny, it's not going to be enough. They've only got 3 rounds on the CT side, and even these 3 rounds, they've not been easy by any stretch. Saw have been able to fire out of the gates in such a great way on the T side. Such a great stance to be in, getting so much momentum. And honestly, they went out this round, they'd probably go up 9-3, 10-3. I mean, could you imagine getting double digits on the T side of Nuke?
At this point, it seems to be plausible. It's definitely not an utopia. It is up for grabs for a team like Saw just because they've been playing some really good Counter-Strike. It only makes sense if they could reach those double digits. Oh, there's the Molotov being deployed, but it's a little bit too late. Look at Stododo. He's just moving in here by his lonesome. He's acquiring all this map control. Now he has his teammates alongside him, and Disco Dolphin, an aggressive play, pushes through the smoke. Crux chimes in, but this weakens the lower bomb set defense set. If Saw wants to go for this one, they absolutely can't, because there's only lonesome Shocks to try and stop them.
Of the timing, this could be big, swings out at the right time and holds up the man advantage, but it gets traded right back into that 2 versus 2. That's going to allow a bomb plant to the lower bomb site, and it has to be the retake to come in from Bubble and Disco Dolphin. Oh, Bubble, he's been spotted out.
Ooh, that sucks. Oh, he's gonna go down as well. Disco Dolphin comes in too late. Muteris somehow manages to get those frags in there without being stopped by anyone. And yeah, you're talking about double digits. That is looking incredibly likely right now. X Smash just not in the right state of money. It's just eco. Yeah, absolutely. Just go for the eco here. Bubble even investing in the Nova. I mean, fair enough. There's a few angles that he can use the Nova at. Blue Hut being the notorious one. In the vets, why not? So actually, why not? I want to see how much success Bubble gets with that shotty of his.
I mean, Nuke's probably one of the only maps in the map pool that you can pretty much get away with Novas and XMs and what have you. And honestly, it's just the kill bonus is the biggest
Oh yeah.
element for that that Nova. Pretty much one kill just like does the whole cost of the weapon. Does he extend any further forward? The T-side are waiting for him to over-aggress.
Not just him, the other players as well. They're just ready and waiting for some kind of wonky push to come out here from X Smash, because they haven't really been changing things up too much. And when you end up expecting change, a lot of times it ends up being in rounds like this. So this could be it, but instead Sauna begin to show up their own bits and pieces of aggression towards ramp. Not really committing to it just yet though. Probably gonna wait for some of the smoke grenades to fade. Grex actually gets the frag here. Oddly enough, he does come out on top with one. Disco Doppin also chiming in with a kill of his own. This is looking good for X Smash. Damage being dealt.
They've got a lot of information, and look at the play. They're actually aggressing out through lobby. Bubble with his Nova. Let's see if he can find anything. Unfortunately, not connecting. And well, they read the play that the aggression's coming out, and they stack the A bomb site on the CT side. So this could get very awkward, especially with how low the time is. Shox is going to be the last one left. Oh, he gets a dink across, but no more than that. 9 rounds now for Saw.
Yeah, 9 rounds here for Saw. Not the sort of thing you expect to say on the T side of all places, but yeah, this is the reality we're living in. Next Smash, obviously they have to come in with the purchase, as weak as it may be, or actually, it really isn't that bad. Honestly, it's pretty good. M4's off in the hands of Fates. They also got some utility to work with. Now let's see if they can actually win it. They gotta convert it. Having a proper investment isn't gonna be good enough. You need to convert it with some kills.
Fast play outside, but they don't have that secondary smoke. They have a molly instead, and well, Muteris is actually able to find an angle with it, and well, it's quick into the A bomb site. And look at these entries. The trade kills not going the way at all from the CTs, and Disco Doppler waiting for the vent dive. Well, he can't do anything. He has to save this rough.
Absolutely. That has to be his modus operandi right now. Keep that M4 when asked for the next round. This is just so dissatisfying for X Smash. I mean, they're just getting absolutely destroyed. At least in the first half, it was a bit more competitive, you know, back and forth action. No one really having an amazing lead such as this one. But here, it's a whole different story. Saw seemed to be the main protagonist of this one, and they're just doing such a great job right now. You cannot deny it. And with double digits on their side, the only time will tell how quickly can they actually close out this first map. Well, ooh, that's a bit of a blunder. But no worries, that M4 is out of the hands of Disco Doppler.
I mean, it doesn't matter. 2 players go down. At least they make sure that M4 is not being saved into the next round. And for X Smash, you know what I'm a little bit surprised about is that we haven't seen too many tactical pauses. I can't even remember a tactical pause coming out for X Smash. To think as well that they're really getting annihilated on this city side, not having a good time at all. Now, there is the XM out for Bubble. We've seen the Nova. Now it's going to be the XM.
You know what's missing? 2 flashbangs.
2 flashbangs?
Yeah. The 2 flashbangs here for Bubble. That is the perfect Hiko setup. Obviously, could have paid homage for the old man, but the Bubble is going to do things his own way. Ooh, that's a good start for Saw. However, Arky getting the opening frag here in Grux. I mean, these players, they're not too armed or too dangerous, but they can still bite. Look at Disco Doppler. He gets the frag here in Muteris. Now the players from Saw again going down ramp. I'm very surprised to note the amount of times they've just been going towards ramp and the upper side. Very few instances that they actually decided, you know what, we're going to have all 5 players going outside and then make our way down secret. I think that might happen maybe once or twice. That's about it. For Nuke, this is incredibly rare.
Well, X Smash, I mean, the best thing they can probably look for is a couple of exit kills. I mean, they'll be on max round loss bonus, so they'll certainly be able to get a buy-in through the next. Sword just thriving with confidence at this point. Good kill at least comes out. The Shox picks up an AK, but the swing comes out from 2 players at the same time. And, well, they do damage. I mean, it's not really going to affect the economy at all from Saw because they'll be able to get a buy into the next round. No problem whatsoever. The last round and a half, 11-3 up on the T side. And, well, we can clearly see why they picked this map.
yeah, I mean, it's their play style, isn't it? It just seems to be working so well here, Nuke, and so well against an opponent like X-Smash. I mean, X-Smash has really been struggling here thus far, not really finding anything going their way. There had been those free rounds, but apart from that, it really has been the Saw show.
Let's see if Smash can just be able to pick up a fourth, just be able to bring something, some sort of positive into the second half. A bit of outside presence. Did they spot our bubble? I think, well, they certainly spammed towards him. Now, he has played quite aggressively outside for quite a few rounds, but opts against it after he thinks that they know where his position is.
Yeah, considers the back way as well. Might as well play it safe. Ooh, the doors haven't blown up open though. So that could always be some opera on the other side holding that angle. And now, I mean, they've just given up on it, X-Smash. They're not even holding ramp anymore. They know that, yeah, it's basically impossible to hold ramp against these guys. But Bubble though, ooh, in for a nasty surprise. Arky just holds that close angle, and so Saw again secured the opening frag, and not much of a response from X-Smash, and Grux at least eliminates one. So gotta make sure that the vents remain in the hands of the CTs, but does not remain in their hands is the lower bomb site.
And they've even got a lurker around that ramp room to try and cut off some rotations from the upper bomb site. And well, they've heard so many footsteps of the players dropping out through the vents. The terrorist is going to be able to follow up. And well, even further he goes. Disco Doppler, last one left, and X-Smash. Oh my goodness, they have been annihilated. That is really not an easy time at all. And well, for Saw, very, very impressive stuff from them.
Oh yes, indeed. With the T set of all places, managing to pick up this many rounds is it's really something worth gloating about.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks like we're having a pause here from X-Smash, though. I've got to say though, things are now looking up here. They're now going to be playing on the T side, and in order to make things competitive, they'd have to replicate the same scoreline from Saw. And I've got to say though, Saw's idea of picking Nuke seems to be a brilliant one, because not only they seem to be very comfortable at playing on the T side, now they have the easier part. You're gonna have to win a few more rounds here on the C side, and they're donezo with the second map.
What's actually really interesting to me is how many kills Muteris has been able to have. Again, he's an in-game leader that is not known for the massive fragging abilities, but he's currently leading the kills on the server at the moment, 18 and 7. And for a lot of players on a team, when your in-game leader is fragging like crazy, it gives you so much confidence, because it's like, right, we're firing on all cylinders right now.
Yeah. If your IGL is able to frag, and sometimes as well, when you have an IGL that is capable of fragging, his calling style changes as well. Maybe he's going to be leaning to some kind of more aggressive play, and if he's the one to get the few frags, then his teammates have a much easier time of also chiming in. Let's see how this one plays out on the B bomb. So it feels like X-Smash just want to try and go with this one, go with the flow, but it's not going to be good, as there's Muteris trying to stop him. Fates could frag your Muteris, but at least X-Smash are now in a position to at least plant the bomb.
You say that, but the rotations have just come in so quickly. They're actually going to rotate back to the upper bomb side, but look at how many players they've lost.
A lot. That is a lot of players going down. At least they get the bomb down. Extra money in their pockets, sure. That maybe they should have just held on the B bomb side. Now they have to hold on the A side. Grux and Disco Doppler, two Swedes, ready and waiting.
Bad coming out from Grux.
Really not bad. Disco Doppler though, oh, can he win? Oh, simply runs out of bullets. It's a bit of a shame how close they've managed to make it. Imagine if it felt to me a bit of a maybe miscommunication from the side of X-Smash, because some players, they remained there in the lower bomb side, whereas other two individuals just kept on running towards the A side. Maybe if all four would have actually came up the vents, then maybe they have a much better hold on that upper bomb side.
Yeah, look, at least from what I saw, it seems like they were trying to really play a fake, and that's why they left the two players there. But the problem was they didn't find anything. They didn't find any kills on the site. They weren't able to try and, like, you know, delay the time. They went down so quickly. So those two players for that lower bomb site really couldn't find anything to try and help out the rotators back to upper. 13-3. The force spike does at least come out from X-Smash after getting the bomb down. Oh, the dink outside. Muteris incredibly low.
Oh yeah. 11 points of health. It's interesting as well. Again, this is a situation where X-Match, they've lost the previous round, yet their investment is looking almost as good as what Saw has cobbled up. Roman, though, spots at a few players, doesn't really want to fight them with the MP9 of all weapons. Fate's getting a frag here as well. This is turning out to be a solid round here for X-Smash. They may not have won the piss round, but they're very much in a very good footing to get themselves the second one. In fact, looks like that's going to be just what the doctor ordered. Just, okay. Oh my, he actually finds himself a few frags here. He is quite low HP though, and yep, does go down to Disco Doppler eventually. So that will be the round here for Smash. They are not giving up that easily. That's nice to see.
Yeah, they're not done just yet. And well, for X-Smash, and finding a lot of success in round number 17. And that'll probably mean the Force Bar has to come out for the CT side, and yeah, it does. They'll be on double eco status, so look, it's certainly not going to be an easy comeback from X-Smash, but the more rounds they can get before Saw gets to 16 is just going to do a little bit of chip damage at the confidence, because for Saw, they could be like, oh, you know, we won 16-4, this is amazing. Oh, now we've won 16-10, 16-11. It doesn't quite have that same element.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I have seen a lot of instances where a team that was in the lead that could have closed out a matchup, for example, 16-6. They end up closing it out eventually, but it's something like 16-13.
Yeah.
Definitely chips away their confidence, and heading into that next map, they're already not feeling too comfortable about themselves, and there are instances where they end up losing it because they took such a long time to close things out. Next Smash right now. Closing in the distance here and outside, clearing out every single nook and cranny except for that one where Arky was hiding.
Wow, just trying to work all the CTs, just trying to see if they can find something on the edge of these smokes outside. Now, the cross smokes do allow a lot of map territory being taken from X-Smash, but they are down a man disadvantage. Terrace only on 60 points of health, so he hasn't really taken too much damage. It's a great response back, at least from Disco Doppler. He's here with the deagle, but can't find anything with it.
Yeah, the headshot angle. It works both ways, doesn't it? And just again, able to find himself killing Disco Doppler and deal the damage here in shocks. I've got to admit that MP9 is rather dangerous, but of course, you're going to get a bullet to the dome from Fates, and so that round comes to an abrupt end. That was a real challenge for X-Smash. That was a proper force spike coming in from Saw, even though it mostly consisted of some pistols here, SMGs there, but they managed to convert it, and because of it, they can now have the spoils of their victory. All they have to go up against is just some measly pistols, no armor whatsoever. So for X-Smash, it's a good opportunity as any to secure round number 6.
And I just throw Disco Doppler in there first, try and see if he can mop up with this MAC-10, and well, it looks like he's going to try and go fast for the vent dive. No teammates to follow with him. A CT does follow him down. And Bubble, just seeing if he can work around the smoke, seeing if he can catch off anyone above the hut position. And this MAC-10, this is 2 kills already for Disco Doppler.
Yeah, this is what we see. You want to see the MAC-10 just moving in there, securing those easy frags and whatnot. And of course, the AK-47s also want to have their own pieces of success. But this is also, I think, a very important thing to have, you know, that, at least that one player in the MAC-10 here on a round like this, where you're against an eco, but you're not really sure. Maybe the opponents have decided to, for example, stack one of the bomb sites. You just don't necessarily have the initial intel for it. So have a player in the MAC-10, have a Disco Doppler that just runs into the site blind, and then he's able to spot out like 5 individuals, and then he gives the call that, guys, there are 5 guys on the A side, abandon ship, go towards B. And then, even though he ends up dying, giving away the MAC-10, but you have some very valuable information that has its worth in gold. And
really, if there's anyone to kind of bring this comeback through from X-Smash, it's got to be Disco Doppler. 23 and 14. He's very slowly been increasing that kill count round after round. Now, the buy isn't great for Saw either. It's 3 for Masters across the board, only a single kit. So really, if X-Smash are able to get themselves into a post plant, they'll be in a very good position. But it comes with a lot of strenuous. Early nades going to the upper, bombs up, but they don't commit with it. It's actually going to be fast out to round, but look at the damage! Arky does so much! 2 kills, and Grump's down low. And that's the bomb dropped.
Oh, I recovered though. But it is a 2-on-3 nonetheless. Disco Doppler and Bubble sticking this one together. I think right now they're the two highest fragging players of X Smash, so maybe this is the deadly duo we need to see succeed and get that bomb down as soon as possible. Before they can do that, however, still want to clear things out toward the lower bomb side because you may never know where the players are playing from. And of course, you got Decon here. Doors will be open. The bomb has been planted, which is great for X Smash.
And they just need to make sure they're not peeking. If they are, they're peeking on each other's contacts, making sure they're waiting for the CTs to walk into their own crosshairs. Bubble. And we find the advantage to bring it back. 2 versus 2 now coming up. And we'll saw they need to get onto this bomb. They need to get onto it now. They need to try and get the defensive up. And now it's all down to Roman. And, well, that is another round for X Smash. Round by round, that's all they need.
Yeah, on a round per round basis, that's just really have to look at it. That's just how the best comebacks are pulled off. You have to be stone cold to do so, and well, I've got to say, Disco Doppler, like 24 frags. It's ridiculous the amount of frags he has picked up, and well, maybe he's now having the hard carry role that we were talking about earlier, you know, that someone has to step up massively. And well, Disco Doppler is definitely filling the bill. It's just that his other teammates are not having the same amount of impact as Disco is having.
And well, maybe it comes down to a back of momentum. If they're able to continue this momentum, maybe that could be the turning point where their teammates start to show up, fast playing towards Secret. Now they do get re-smoked off, so they have to kind of wait for that to dissipate. Or just trying to do some damage, trying to chip at this economy will make a big difference. A lot of rotates to this lower bomb side. 2 players are here, but for the T side, it looks like they actually want to try and get out of Secret and maybe try and take this upper bomb side.
That could be part of the game plan right now. Of course, due to the CTs in this situation, you're not really sure what's exactly going on, but Shock does get punished. Roman gets the frag here and Fates, and now it looks like X Smash will change up the pace. It will be a commitment here at the A-bomb side, but there's off angles they need to check right now. They got to make sure that these players do not find any more frags. Just comes out on top of the P250, but now it is a 1v2. Arky gets a kill with the scout, but he's left in a 1v1, deals the damage, almost a kill. And in this crucial 1v1, Arky, if he lands it, oh, that could have been it. And Disco Doppler, he knows the importance of that kill.
Oh, man. And it's Disco Doppler to be able to clutch. Man,
yeah.
This guy really step it up. That was a very expensive round, a very close call for X Smash. But they are bringing the comeback through. This is now 5 rounds in a row on the T side. So they can be happy with that last round. They can certainly be happy in how close they took it.
Yeah. Really be satisfied with their performance this far. Now, if only the players from X Smash could also step up, you know, the 2 Estonians, Shocks and Fates, not having an easy day here on Nuke. If only they can put into fragging numbers, we might actually see X Smash just continue on with their flow, which is, I mean, for Saw, I can't really say that it's scary just yet, but we are turning into a very close scoreline here. Maybe even double digits here for X Smash, which, when you think about it, 5 rounds ago, you might think that's just impossible. But X Smash right now, 5 rounds away from equalizing the scoreline with Saw.
Well, they do have the outside smokes and try and take outside a little bit slower than they previously have. Leaving a single lurk around this lobby position to potentially see if he can cut off any rotates from the A-bomb side players. The spam coming through won't do any damage as they slowly walk in through Secret. Now, for Saw, they don't know entirely if it's a lower play because they didn't hear any footsteps.
Yeah. Lack of information is now a big deal for Saw. Not really sure what's about to take place. 35 seconds. It could very easily be an A-side commitment. It could very easily be a B-side hit, but now we actually hear the utility usage coming in, so this is where Saw can begin to make the rotation. Arky is holding the off angle. They even have some smoke grenades to block out the vision of the T's, so there's really only one choke point they can come from, which is perfect for Saw. The doors open up, and it's an opportunity for Arky to get himself the kills. Oh no, not a single one! X Smash have successfully hit the bomb site, and now all they have to do right now is plant the bomb and eventually win the round, because Justin Roman, are they even thinking they can go for this one? This is just too difficult, boys.
What was that from Bubble. Man, those kills were so sharp. They were so quick. Oh, the confidence now. It must be thriving for X-Smash and Saw. Now they're probably getting a little bit emotional. Don't want to say like they're saying this game's done, but they're thinking, right, we lost map number 1, guys. We have been up 13-3. We cannot let this slip.
Yes, exactly. This is where I think their palms are getting sweaty as they're holding onto their mice and their keyboards. Because that's the thing, you were leading this matchup 13-3 at one point. That's the scoreline. We have to look back. And now, it could very easily become 13-10. But, of course, if anyone is going to make sure that X-Smash has a difficult time, it is going to be Stododo. Time and time again, he's been doing an incredible job. It comes down to eliminating the X-Smash players.
Now, this should be at least one of the easiest rounds that X-Smash will have to face. They need to make sure that they're playing it very cautiously. Utility to their upper bomb site once again. Gonna force Roman off the hut position. They need to try and find a trade kill on the T side.
Disco Doppler good frag here in Roman. Now they're beginning to make their way to the site itself just with the Deagle. When will Maturus pounce? We got Staboto picking up a frag. That's very nice. They may not expect Maturus to be here because he has remained silent. He is yet to give away his position and yet to fire off a single bullet with that Deagle. This could be a nasty surprise, and Staboto gets the frag on Shocks, and it will be Saw to win a round with just pistols. And this is where X-Smash probably ends their momentum run. Damn, after losing a round like that, can they bounce back? That's the real question right now.
Well, the problem is now they've even got like less rounds to work with. It's 14 up for Saw, and well, X-Smash, they should not be losing a round like that. It was just an eco, just upgraded pistols. And Saw, they get very, very lucky indeed. And well, they are closing in on round number 16. X-Smash, if they are able to strike now, there are quite a few players quite low in terms of the economy basis on the city side. The AWP out for Fates. And pretty passive stuff. No real map control being taken outside just yet. Disco Doppler getting closer and closer to 30 kills.
Oh yeah. 30 kills for him. Bubble in 15. And I think Bubble counts as the second highest fragged individual for X-Smash. Yeah. That is really frustrating. Oh, and what a great start for Saw as well. Arky secures the opening frag here in Fates. That's one player out of the equation, and 4 more to go as X-Smash seem to want to hold on to the outside control here. Might even consider eventually moving up the heavens. This is obviously one of the many variations you can try to do for a standard hit on the A-bomb site.
They need just to find an individual kill, and there it is. Bubble able to open up, turn it back into a 4-on-4. Now, he's been able to isolate the ramp room where they can try and hit this upper bomb side. They've got info on where 2 players are.
Uh-oh. Scoot Doppler goes down as well. That's a massive frag to acquire. It leaves it all to Bubble and Shocks. And Shocks losing his HP, but still remains alive to get the second one on Roman. 20 seconds remaining. They actually have the site and will plant the bomb. Arky comes in from the vent. Bubble gets that one, and Shocks comes out on top with his. A 2-on-4 in favor of X-Smash.
Oh, damn. It's happening. Oh, that's so big. And I'll tell you what, it's probably one of the biggest rounds we've seen from Shocks in this map alone. Like you said, you look at the kill count. 28 for Disco Doppler, the second highest at Bubble at 17. Finally, Grux and Shocks are able to get to double digits, but really, it's only Disco Doppler for most of this map. And then, well, we've seen some highlights of Bubble recently. Shocks having such a big round.
Oh, truly massive stuff. I think in general, from maybe this is just some recency bias coming in, but it feels like when I've seen Disco Doppler play throughout his career, it just feels like this map is probably one of his better ones. Obviously, he's now putting in some great numbers, but I remember the one time he stood in for NIP, it felt like he was also doing a pretty good job in terms of fragging. So maybe Nuke is just a map that he really feels comfortable on. I'd have to look on some of the more statistical data to be 100% sure on it, but yeah. X Smash, 10 rounds for them. Saw in 14. You might even see some aggression come in from Mutriz, at least that's what I thought, but instead he's going to be deploying some of the grenades to try and slow down this X Smash advancement.
So much util outside from X Smash. This is one of the quickest takes we've seen from them outside. And Bubble, he needs to see if he can find an opening, because this is going to be the upper take. If they can find an entry out from main.
Yeah, that's the big question. Can they? Bubble though, time is everything. Ooh, spots the player, but Mutriz sees him as well. Fates responds with the up kill. And X Smash could begin to make their way into the A bomb site, but Roman, he's got the off angle. This is such a powerful position. The bomb's been dropped, and X Smash will they try to refrag? I mean, Fates is very slow on the trigger. He's got the off to work with, and he misses the shot, meaning that this round is coming to an end, as it will be 15 for Saw.
Oh, okay, and that might be it. That honestly might be the round that takes Saw over the edge to get to 16th. A very strong round indeed. We saw so much utility outside, and well, for X Smash, they don't even really use the outside presence. They allow Bubble to get aggressive and try and wrap into hell, but he's not even able to do so, and they just try and split the upper bomb side out through main. 15 to 10. And even the buy, I mean, X Smash have been able to get some very, very good buys in for most of this second half. This is certainly not one of the best of them.
No, it really isn't, and you would have to go for a few SMGs, and of all the SMGs, the MP5, I don't think a lot of people end up using it in competitive play, honestly. I mean, it just got better things than it. If you want to do more armor damage, you just go for the cheaper option, the UMP. If you want to do some general damage against ecoing a position or against players that don't necessarily have Kevlar, you go for the Mac 10. The MP5 just, it's a weapon that doesn't really feel in any niche, you know. It doesn't feel like a very niche weapon or a very purposeful weapon like the UMP or the Mac 10.
Yeah, certainly right. I mean, at least recently, I've actually started to see the PP Bison being bought a little bit more against some of these eco rounds. But yeah, look, the MP5 certainly not a weapon that you see all too often. So all it's going to take is one more round to take us to Dust 2 as that finale, as that third map in this series. And this is going to be a quick vent dive coming in for the T side.
That was very quick indeed. Except for one big problem. The bomb carrier is not on this initial push. It's only Disco Dolphin who's made his way through. Mutriz gets the frag here in Bubble. Disco Dolphin waiting. He can hopefully win this engagement, but with Bubble going down, I mean, a lot more pressure now on Disco Dolphin, but he also hits the deck, which makes matters that much more difficult. It's up to the three remaining players here, Fates, Crux, and Shocks, and there's no denying it. These three players have had a difficult game thus far. They are kind of stuck there behind the red container, and they're losing HP, they're losing time, and they might be in a position to lose the second map.
X Smash just so tagged up at this point. Roman dropping that bomb, and there's only 2 players remaining. Can he find any more? Of course he can. 3 kills in the round. Shock's the last one left, and well, that's going to be it. Saw finally a closing out nuke at 16 to 10. It took a little bit of time. It certainly was not an easy affair in that second half, and honestly, considering the fact they got a 12 to 3 half and 1 pistol, I thought they were just going to run away with it completely, but we saw a bit of a late resurgence coming out for the X Smash side.
Yeah, I guess fair enough. There was somewhat of a resurgence. They didn't get their butts whooped entirely, but again, in the whole grand scheme of things, does it really matter? I mean, Saw still managed to secure that victory. If it would have gone to, for example, something like 16-11-ish, 16-12-ish, then maybe, yeah, you could say that there's some more broader implications to it. But I'd say that throughout the majority of the second map, they just had such a good grasp on the situation.
No, they did. I mean, they read the game incredibly well. One thing that I was really impressed with from Saw is even the fact that Disco Doplin's fragging like a crazy man, like they're still able to shut him down, and they're still able to shut the team down. One thing I was really disappointed with from Smash is, first of all, that first half, that was pretty abysmal, only getting 3 rounds on CT. It's never enough on a map like Nuke. And honestly, I would say maybe 75-80% of those rounds they won on T, it came down to Disco Doplin, honestly.
Yeah, Disco Doplin was a very impactful piece here of the, let's just say, offensive of X Smash, because he was able to shine on that T side, I'd say a lot more than he did on the CD side. If it hadn't been for some of his heroics that he managed to pull off, we probably don't even see those 10 rounds for X Smash. And again, it comes down to, well, we had one player having an amazing game. Where are the other players from X Smash? I mean, they're just non-existent. It's not that they're capable of putting in the same like 28 frags, but they're not even capable of getting those like 15-ish or 20 frags at the very least. And that's such a big problem here for this roster.
Yeah, look, it certainly is. It's a bit of a worrying sign. The fact is, look, they don't really play Nuke. It's not a map successfully that they find a lot of wins on. So you can kind of understand on that basis. But yeah, you're right. You know, just even something like the 1v1 Angels, just players going incredibly quiet. And we saw it on the first map as well, which is a very big worrying sign for this team that, you know, when things go quiet, when players go quiet, what can they do to adjust that? What can they do to try and fire them up and see if they can get a little bit of leverage? Because at least from what I saw in map number 1 and map number 2, we're seeing a consistent basis where players are being quiet.
Yeah, that seems to be a pretty big problem now for maybe even to Saw to some extent, but definitely a bigger problem here for the X Smash roster. I mean, in order to fight their problems, they're going to have to see, and we're going to have to find out what they're made of here on the upcoming third map. We're going to be jumping into Dust 2 here, folks, but before we do that, we're going to be heading over to a very brief commercial break, and we'll bring you that third map of our best of 3.
Well, Danny, we're here. We're finally here. It's been a little bit of a
Yes.
progress stage, but we're here at the third map, and it's Dust 2, mate. We saw Dust 2 a little bit earlier on.
Yes, indeed. And even though we didn't have X Smash playing this too, we did have Saw playing this too. And when we were talking about that previous matchup when Saw had to play against Hard Legion, we had, yeah, Hard Legion seems to be just the better team in general, and they should be able to come out on top. But what ended up being, however, is that Saw pulled off the upset in a very miraculous fashion. They might have lost some of the first few rounds in a row, but then they just kept on winning round after round after round. And the reason behind it is the playstyle they managed to show us that it was very reminiscent of what we had just seen on Nuke.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing that I was at least impressed with on Dust 2 is that, like, when they were confident, when they got momentum going, like, they looked really good. And I've looked at, obviously, we just casted the Dust 2 game a little bit earlier on today, but you look at that Dust 2 game, then going into the two maps we've seen so far in Overpass and Nuke, and you think, damn, like, this is a real good chance that Saw can actually win this best of three.
Yeah, this is where it counts, right? This is the third map. Forget what happened in the past.
Okay.
We're basically playing a best of one right now. And in the best of one scenario like this, Saw had just recently won Dust 2. So what stops them from winning against a team like Smash, which arguably I would say that Hard Legion, all in all, is the better squad. If they would have to face each other, Hard Legion and Smash, I'm thinking Hard Legion should take that one. So if we apply that logic, even though it is like kind of this sort of has a bit of a logical fallacy by applying this chain logic to it, but all in all, like Saw are definitely in a prime position to actually secure this third map right now.
Yeah, I'm certainly with you there, and yeah, like I suppose it is a little bit of chain logic, but it makes a lot of sense. And look, going into this, yes, we've seen some kind of decent results recently on Dust 2 for the Smash side. I remember even when they were a part of the Smash organization, Dust 2 was a map that they would actually pick a fair bit when in like the last 3 months. So look, going into this, it's actually a very good map for both sides. So I certainly think it can go down to the wire, but in my opinion, if X Smash want to be able to take this last map, they need to be getting all of their players fired up. You can't just rely on one player to be winning out big clutches, winning out big rounds. It's a team base, it's a third map, and that's what we need to see from them on Dust 2.
Yeah, you just want to see more players step up, honestly. That is the one thing you really want to keep an eye out because Disco Doppler has put up some very good performances there on Nuke, but he was out there by his lonesome, basically. The only warrior there that was willing to go out there fight from the trenches. You had Bubble as well trying to help him out a bit, but the other individuals like Grux, Shocks, and Fates, those guys were basically absent, non existent there in Nuke, and really didn't make much of an impact, which was the biggest problem. If only they'd step up as well alongside this Godopin, maybe there's a realm where they have a similar level of competence on their own T side of Nuke, and maybe even secure that second map.
Yeah, look, maybe. There's certainly a lot of what ifs going into this best of three, but look, I think trying to break it apart. I mean, one thing that we at least have seen a little bit from the X Smash side is sometimes running that double orb setup. Now, for Saw, I
Mm.
don't think we saw it at all on Dust 2. I don't think we even saw it a single round that they were running double orbs. I certainly expect that if Moneyline is good on the City side for X Smash, they'll be trying to get Disco Doppler and Fates out with that AWP, or maybe depending that second AWP on exactly where they want to put it, if it's going to be a B side anchor or a mid player or something like that. But that's an element that we may expect to come out from the X Smash side.
Yeah, why not? Dust 2 is pretty good map as well to get those ops out. It's just that Fates, even though he has been like doing the main opping for this team, like he just really hasn't done anything, honestly. As an opper, he just wasn't as prolific as someone like on the side of Saw, which I obviously saw their player doing some fine shooting as well, even with AK-47 as well, even when he does not have the AWP in his hands. Whereas the Fates, he has been going a lot more for the op purchases when he was playing towards outside. There have been a few instances where he had done some good work, but again, it just simply wasn't enough. So even if they want to consider going for something like a double op setup, like who do you give that second op to? It's probably a Disco Doppler, but I mean, even he himself doesn't seem to be too comfortable at wanting to pick up the AWP. And why not? I mean, if he has found success with the AK-47, might as well keep on using that gun.
Well, as we do jump into the knife round, Danny, I'm going to ask you the all-important question. I want to get a prediction in
Right.
terms of rounds for the last map of Dust 2.
Hmm.
What are we expecting
26 rounds,
Okay.
and I think it is gonna be Saw to come out on top.
Alrighty, well, I'm gonna go probably like a 60. I'm gonna give double digits at least for X Smash, so I'm gonna
Okay.
at least give them that. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna go Saw 2-1 in this series, and well, I mean, it will mean a lot to the Saw camp if they're able to progress further and make it into the playoffs in the upper bracket.
Oh, it'd truly be amazing for them. And that's the thing as well, like, this is where, of course, the upper bracket game we're talking about. Worst case scenario, if they end up losing this one, there's still a whole matchup in the lower bracket, so it's not like it is a do or die situation for them, but it also would be very nice if Socken and the sort of matches here for today just focus on, you know, some of the other games they might have to play, whereas if a team like what would be Smash or Saw for this matter, if they end up losing this matchup, they're still gonna have to play a lower bracket game right after this one, and that is really tiresome to have to play so many games today. You know, you had to play one best of one not that long ago, then you had this best of three, and then another best of three right after this one. I think fatigue is gonna play a big part in how that last best of three could play out.
And look, we've certainly seen that a lot recently. Is obviously players and teams feeling fatigued. I saw something on Reddit a few days ago of Hellraisers playing 5 best of 3s in one day, and well,
Yeah.
that's just the current state of online Counter-Strike at the moment. You've got to be making sure that mentally you are ready and you are stable to attack any kind of series that go your way. But like Danny said, the loser of this, they're not out of it yet. There is still the lower bracket run to come through. But map 3 of Dust 2, and it's the long presence of Saw, which we have seen time and time again.
The two smokes and the headshot. Very nice little pick coming in. Disco Dolphin with the USB trying to tap away. So many players to find a Disco. Oh, he's fuming all right. Oh, good shots from him. Getting himself the damage, getting the kills, and most importantly now, got a few more kills chiming in. Stadodo. See if that can try and get that bomb plant. Do see a few kills coming in. Just though, uh-oh, he is running out of bullets. But now it's all up to Just. Left in a 1v2. Oh, gets the one and the second one as well. Just has done it for the team. Saw starts it off with a victory.
What? I can't believe they win.
I mean, this is just...
Oh, that is such a big clutch. That is a very, very big clutch coming out from Just. Oh, these shots, man. Very, very nice. And X Smash, they'll probably be kicking themselves. They were in such a great position to retake that bomb site. And Saw get away with, well, really, you look at this best of 3, it's been X Smash a lot of the time to be able to clutch out. Now it's finally gone the way of the Portuguese side.
Yeah, that's always nice to see, right? Nothing going in their favor. Saw 1-0. That is the start they're looking for. And obviously, if you're X Smash, that is a little bit dissatisfying because that is a round you probably should have won. And considering you came off Nuke, where you kind of got battered and bruised in the first half, you don't want to repeat the same mistakes. You want to make sure that your CD side starts off with a banger, and that is a win for more than anything. Do you see the push coming in here from the players of Saw? Not really having it not having it too difficult, what to say, but you see one kill looking out for this Goblin, so it's not going to be the cleanest of victories, but a victory nonetheless.
And we'll saw they need to be making sure that they're getting those cross smokes down, because we saw a little bit of a gap on the left side of that smoke out for the CT cross. So certainly that's going to be communicated around the players, making sure, all right, boys, we need to make sure that we're being able to utilize our utility perfectly, because, well, a lot of the time, missed utility can lead to some very awkward exchanges.
Oh, yeah. I get that utility down as well. It's a pretty simple thing when you think about it, just landing that utility, but, you know, in a map environment, in, of course, an official game, you sometimes might not line it up properly. You might leave a bit of a gap, and of course, that gap could cost you a few rounds, a round, or maybe even an entire map. So, yeah, it's very important to get that utility down, and, oh, this is nice to see. Fate's on the AWP, but it's yet to find an impact here.
It is glass cannon and very light utility coming out for the X Smash side, going for the M4s rather than those from Masters. Fate is very aggressive. This could be the opportunity. There it is, finding that opening kill. A very nice one at it. And we'll sort. They do have a lurk coming out from the short face, but no real control here at the moment.
Yeah, nothing too much in their favor. Okay, Disco Dolphin could frag here on 1, but Just and Co are still getting frags on a different part of the map. And now look at this, they've got the numbers advantage. Shox doesn't really know what's going on. Will it be players coming in from the tunnels? Yep, he's looking right there. There's gonna be 3 angry terrorists that will try to take care of him, and that's perfect. That is the kill they were looking for, and that is the kill they've acquired.
Well, this is just flashbacks to when we saw them against Hard Legion on the T side. I mean, he's able to just somehow swing out from mid and take down 2 players. I'm actually surprised that they're even thinking about trying to retake the site in a man disadvantage with a single kid on Disco Doppelin. Running down the clock incredibly low now. There are a few players tagged up at least for the T side. And well, now, why are they even still going for this at this point? X-Smash not being successful in the retake. I'm not sure if I like that decision. I mean, they had an AWP there. Like, they could have picked up Fates' AWP and saved with an M4 and had 2 rifles in for the next round, rather than retaking in what was 2v3 with a single kit and no util.
Yeah, keeping the AWP could have been of top priority, but it kind of feels like that team, the team members, at least in that situation, thought, you know what, we can still pull this one off, we can still do it, but remember, it is the B bombs that we're talking about. It is so difficult to retake the B side with no utility as well, and also being at a man disadvantage is a weird choice from the players of Smash. But they thought they could do it, and as we now know, they have failed in their endeavor, meaning that they have to go for Nico, and they are ill-equipped. Apart from the one scout in the hands of Disco Doppler and a few pistols, can't really call this a formidable investment.
A little bit of aggression coming out through short, but it's the walk from Uteris out through the mid doors. Possibly trying to split into this B bomb site, taking contact up through Xbox. And forcing X-Smash to play relatively passive on the eco round, or at least trying to allow that to come through. Back to passiveness from Saw. And that one thing that we spoke about in the best of one earlier is their change up on the T side. We can see so much aggression out from long, and we can see fast takes up through short, and then they could just have these rounds where they slow it right down.
Oh yeah, this is incredibly slow CS coming out from Saw. But this is also, I think, the right approach in a round like this. Though, Roman could get overwhelmed. So many players to find, so many angles to check, and he ends up dying eventually. However, the main push is out here towards long, and it seems to be a resounding success. The A side is ill-defended, but the rotation is coming in, however, so Arky could maybe get a few kills. He spots him out. There's the first one. There's another open player, and Fates hits the deck. So now that bomb plant seems to be inevitable, and Saw in a good position here, but Shox, I might go for the CZ75 jump shot, but no, nothing in his favor. He might as well go for this one. Oh, and he ends up dying. So 4-0 for Saw.
A very, very good start coming out for the Portuguese side. Now we are going to see the rifles up. And single AWP out for Fates while it's M4s for the rest of them. Now they did have an opportunity of trying to run that double AWP setup. Grux certainly had enough money to go for that AWP investment and maybe drop it over to a teammate if they wanted. But they've opted against it.
Yeah.
Want to make sure that they're pulling out those 4 M4s, and this is the fast long commitment that we have seen time and time again from Saw.
Space aware of it though? Well, they definitely know what's going on, and they are instantly backing away, or are they? Completely stuck in no man's land, not really sure what they want to do, and that is detrimental. If you back up entirely. You don't even remain here in Longhouse. You try to play this one safe, and Arky, that is quite the opposite of playing safe as he runs through the flames. Well now, players are trying to cross their way to the bomb site itself. Oh, that Molotov as well eliminates Bubble, and Saw have full control over the A bomb site and X-Smash. This time, however, their wish will be granted, Weg. They will go for the proper save, and importantly enough, if they do save the 2 weapons, we might see a purchase back on the next round.
And for some of the viewers, they might kind of be asking themselves, like, how does Saw take long so easily? And it comes down to just running the drill over and over again. It's so disciplined that they've run that so many times. They've got different variations. Sometimes we see them swing out, get a player in towards the pit, play passive. That time around, they swung out. There were 3 players to deal with from X-Smash, and with the utility, the City side were like, right, let's get out of here. Let's just try and fall back. The pushes through the smoke, and then even Arky, I mean, maybe a bit of an overextension, pushing through the molly out from short, trying to take the fight onto the A-bomb site players. and Saw, they find so much success out from long. And X Smash, honestly, the only way to deal with that is either no long presence or maybe take 3 players there with a 4th player to flash you in and seriously put the manpower there.
That's one of the things Hard Legion really struggled on, is trying to fight the long presence that came out from Saw. Of course, what really helps out is the spawns here does too. Once you realize that you've got good spawns to actually go for some long control, you're going to be doing it if you're Saw. But of course, not every single time you get lucky enough to get the good spawns, so you're thinking, right, this round, we might be a few seconds off. We may not walk out of Longhouse quickly enough, so let's not do it this round. Maybe some next one. So that's also one of the things you gotta point out whenever looking at these quick, long takes.
Back to passiveness for Sort. I'm taking a fair bit of control at the moment. Nothing up towards short, but I'm quite deep here out through mid from your terrace and having a single lurk over towards the upper tunnels. Only 2 kits to work with. Again, light utility coming out for the CT side. Could this be the mid to B split to come out for Sword? Actually wouldn't be too bad of a play considering the orb is over here towards a short position.
There's gonna be some utility deployed here middle to allow him cross safely for the B split. There are 2 players to try and stop him. Shocks being one of them. Now it's all up to Bubble, and he is eliminated just too quickly right now. Again, the B side falls way too quickly for the CT side of Smash. And again, it's back to their own drill of saving the weaponry. And here again, the story remains the same. If all 3 weapons stay alive, then we can definitely see a purchase in the next round. But it is just really the nature of how it is in Counter-Strike that, yeah, if you end up losing one of the sides so quickly, well, you still have the other players on the other part of the map, you just end up saving the guns. That is the most optimal play to make. You can try to go for this 4v3 retake, but let's be real. X-Smash would have an incredibly difficult time to try and get those free kills. No utility making it even more so difficult, and just the 1 diffuse kit as well.
I'll tell you what, Saw are one damn solid Dust 2 team. I mean, you look at their results the last 3 months, they've won it 9 times, and the only losses they've had is against ENCE that went 14-16 and OG 6-16. Other than that, that's their only losses. You know, we've seen wins against teams like Forza, Vitality, Heretics. It's unbelievable how strong of a Dust 2 team they are, and not even just on the CT side, but the T side is really where they come into their own. X Smash looking for a response at this point, but struggling to find one.
I mean, if things just keep on going the way they are, there has to be timeout. Please, someone from Smash has to do timeout. Oh, what is this? That is rather unlucky for Mr. Bubble. As he runs up there, tries to go in for the kill, and ends up dying. And it's also maybe an act of desperation to try and go for such a play like that.
Oh, it 100% is. No, that's certainly desperation. They're dying for an advantage, and well, that's why we see such aggression coming out. Face looking out through mid, and well, Stadirto is still around towards T-spawn. Only a single player is going to be here at the B bomb side. That's going to be shots. Could take down Mute Terrace, but gives away his position.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem, isn't it? The Bumson has fallen, Saw have full presence over it, and X-Smash are again leaving the site in ruin. You know that they cannot contest this one, they again have to go for another save. The weaponry need to be kept. But it's also a weird way of saying it that they have reached maximum loss bunny bonus, but because they end up saving these 2 or 3 rifles, more often than not, it is going to be another beefy purchase heading into this upcoming round. So yeah, Smash, at least the one thing they got down is that economy. They can kind of work around things. They can actually get themselves the weapons out. It's just that when it comes down to winning these rounds, this is where the real trouble begins. Ooh, Ark even finds them both. In fact, right now, they might have to reconsider their options. Free players can definitely buy up, but not this Godoplin Bubble.
You know what is interesting, Danny, that we haven't kind of spoken about yet is the fact of look how many B plays we've seen coming out from Saw once they get that bomb plant. Like, we see obviously the pressure coming out towards mid and out through long, but they bring that bomb over the B bomb site a hell of a lot, and we didn't see that early on. I think they hit B, what, 2 or 3 times on the T side. Now we've already seen it at least 4 times over at this B bomb site. And, well, 7-0. The streak, it only continues.
Yeah. 7 rounds right now. Let's see if they can break the record from the previous matchup against Hard Legion of Dust 2. I mean, they might be on the brink of doing it, in fact. Disco Doplin, ooh, sees the player jumping around here. You have to be very precise with the deagle to get a kill like that, and Molotov will force him and his buddy out of position. That's what play it safe. Allow the terrorists to come to you.
And, well, they're going to take this long control with, well, pretty much ease because, well, for X-Smash, they're playing incredibly passive over at this A-bomb site. It's 3 players really trying to line up through the short commitment. Or walking out through long, expecting the cross smokes to come through for the T side. See if they can get that AWP into the pit position. Doesn't hit the opener, but information's being seen from the Smash side.
Oh, Fates tries to stop this push. Good frag here, one of these players. And you got a low HP muters. Maybe Fates can do something. No, he's eliminated way too quickly. Players from SAW are scrambling here in the A-bomb site. They are having it difficult to try and deal with these players with pistols, if I'm being honest. They're yet to plant the bomb. The Molotov does go for Gandalf. Player is forced out of position. But you got Grux getting a nice deagle headshot. Finally, the bomb does get planted, but X-Smash absolutely want to try and go for this one. Another headshot here for Grux.
Just on the side, could be able to line them up with a teammate of Staderdo. And Grux and Shocks just looking for damage at this point. See if they can find their first round, being very successful so far. But the T's are only going to be able to close in. And 8-0. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. This is a rough affair for the X-Smash boys.
Yeah, 8-0 is not the scoreline you're expecting for the third map. I talked about maybe fatigue playing a part in this one, but even so, 8-0 is not the scoreline you should be looking for. There has to be at least a few rounds in favor of Smash, because this simply cannot keep on going. We do see an op in the hands of Fates yet again, though I can't really say that AW purchase has been too impactful or too necessary here for Smash, because they kept on buying it, but I can't really say that Fates has been the most impactful player as well. And in fact, if you take a look in terms of kills, like, they're just not getting kills as well, X-Smash. That is really dissatisfying.
Well, they are going to a very, very heavy long commitment. This could be a good chance to at least open up with some great entries. The flashbangs. There are so many players blind out from long. And finally, the kills come in for the T side, but not without the trades. 3 versus 3, and they want to just kind of keep fighting here. This is so chaotic out from long. The bomb's been dropped. Fates cannot follow up. Oh, but finally, he finds his 3rd kill into the 1 versus 1. How many trade kills came out there?
Oh, just so many. And Stadodo. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, Stadodo. More than aware of such a play from Shocks. And I still gotta wonder, you know, because even though the trade frags come in initially, you're thinking, right, this is a free-on-free. Maybe this is where X-Smash just might want to cut their losses and abandon Log entirely. But instead, you got one player reaggressing, you got Fates coming in with the op. It was also a bit of an awkward situation from Saw's part, is that you have Lonesome Fates out there in Long, and he's trying to win the duel against one of the Saw players, and then the other guy is just hiding behind Blue, not even peeking. They could have very easily just double-peeked Fates, and that's suddenly a 1v2. We don't even have to see the 1v1 take place.
Oh my. That was, well, X-Smash's best chance of being able to find their first round. So much presence out through long. Bubble's very aggressive, and Fates has got an idea of where Muteris is. I think he saw him on the cross. Oh, but he can't find anything with the scout. So immediately, as soon as X-Smash find that opening kill, it's traded right back.
Very quick. Look at the aggression right now from X-Smash. Why not? I mean, this is the type of round where you can say, I'm going to play a bit more aggressive here in the tunnel. Might as well. Roman, though, not having it easy, but he does secure the last few kills that were necessary here. Grux goes down as well. And this is just same old Saw. Entering the A-bomb set and successfully eliminating the opposition without giving said opposition a chance for a reply. And it is now 10-0. It's surprising as well that X-Smash are getting absolutely destroyed right now, and they're yet to take a timeout.
Hey, oh man, this is rough. They got to go back to the long commitment. That was their best chance. They've got to do it again. They're running the double ops. Finally, they're making a change up. Because Fates, yes, like he had a strong commitment out from long. Oh, that's even a missed long corner smoke. Unless... Was that... No, there's no way that was supposed to go for the doors, right?
I honestly don't know. I don't think it is, though, because why would you do that?
Yeah.
Doesn't really make a lot of sense right now. Bubble. Okay, he's going to be the Opera right now, the secondary Opera, and I'm surprised to note that he has made sense of the situation. Gets the frag here in the middle. The players from Saw are just scrambling all over the place. You still have individuals in the tunnels, and there's this Doppelin. Oh, he gets caught out. Beatrice finds the phone, but Fates is very quick on the reply. Now it is going to be a chance for X Smash. Oh, good shot here by Bubble. Oh, another one for him. And almost a third one, and this will be it. This has to be Shucks ready and waiting to deal with Stododo, and there we go. Smash has broken the curse, and they finally pick up the first.
Oh, rip the dream. It's over now. Well,
rip
look,
the dream.
It's a response, and it comes off the back of that secondary AWP, and you'd kind of be scratching your head thinking, why did that not come out earlier? The Saw, finally they go down. Man, even the economy is just so built for the T's. They'll be able to get a buy through to pretty much every round in this half, no worries whatsoever. Fast out from long once again. Now they do know the AWP's here from Bubble.
Yeah, if not Bubble, then Fates, but the fact still remains, there's an op on that side. Well, Roman, actually loses the aim duel against Disco Doppler. I thought that he's going to come out on top with the superior angle, but apparently not the case. So at least something goes in favor of X Smash, even though they have lost long control. And there is a kill in their favor. I wouldn't be too surprised if X Smash would even consider playing a bit more aggressive in a round like this. Maybe even push up the tunnels, push up middle. Do something to make sure that these players from Saw do not get too comfortable.
I'm trying to press up through the long face. They've pretty much opened up this A bomb side because, well, X Smash, they've put themselves in retaking positions, really.
Ooh, there's a gap. Pretty big one as well. Disco Doppler, this is perfect for him. Oh, a second one as well. Not the third, because you've got Fates on the other side, and it could even be the fourth for Disco. And actually, this double up setup might be the key that X Smash needed to achieve success.
And, well, we spoke about some of this misutility coming out in the past for the Saw side. You can't be making mistakes like that. No way can you try and cross into the site with a gap that big. And will X Smash, well, they just punish them for it. And you speak about the double orbs, Danny. Very, very successful in these last few rounds.
Yeah, very good indeed. Managing to find those kills as well, and I'm surprised not the Disco Doppler had that amount of success, because even I thought that it's probably gonna miss that shot. But no, he nails the players one after one after one. That is truly impressive what he managed to accomplish there. But the real achievement would be for X Smash to try and get these last 3 rounds in a row to achieve a 10-5 scoreline. Now that is going to be a difficult task for them, but they definitely have what it takes. And now, of course, the players from Saw, they're going for their tested true formula of another commitment here towards long. They have the players here, X Smash. They will try to challenge them, however, which could be a mistake. In fact, it's a disaster. 2 players go down too quickly, and it's all to Fates to try and stop the remaining push.
And, well, he's got no support. He's got no teammates to back him up. He is the lone soldier at the moment. Fates is going to be able to get boosted back onto the side to give him a bit of an elevated angle. But Saw, they've taken the map control. They've left the AWPer in towards the pit, and they can back off if they want.
Yeah, that's absolutely that. And I like the fact that Bubble is playing this one a bit more aggressive there. He's out there in the tunnels with the AWP, but because of his weapon of choice, he can't really move in too wide. He just has to hold this angle currently. And Saw, I mean, with the current presence they have towards long, I mean, again, they could just go wherever they want, really. It's just that if you have to go towards middle or tunnels, you might have to fight for some of that map control. So instead, I'm gonna throw in the smoke grenades and move into the side itself. Oh, poor Fates. 4 players he has to find and doesn't get a single one. Gap does not exist, and now they can cross safely.
You got to think this has to be the save, right? This is an open and M4 2-on-4 retake. You really can't be going for this, especially when the economy is not great for you. A little bit unfortunate there. We're seeing some really nice kills going the way of Saw, but Shocks, bit of an overextension out from short, but no. There's the save attempt. It's not going to come through. It will be 11 rounds up for Saw. And you know what's crazy as well? If you kind of take into account on Nuke, we saw what 12 rounds on the T side, and now we're looking at a currently 11. It just shows you how much of a T-sided team Saw are.
Mm-hmm. They seem to be doing just a much better job on the T side, and same went for the T side of Nuke as well. They found so many rounds on it. Wasn't it 10 rounds on the T side of Nuke? I like to say again, like a big amount of rounds being acquired in that one half. When it came down to closing things out, they kind of struggled a little bit. I mean, it wasn't that easy. They managed to do so, but if you're managing to do 11 rounds in the first half, closing things out in the second one should become a breeze.
Well, you say that. You certainly do say that.
Say that, but we've seen that Saw tends to struggle there at the end.
Well, let's see what they can be able to convert in round number 14. Bubble going for a mid-face, doesn't see anything. And it's the fast commitment out from Long once again. It is a one-for-one trade. And X-Smash, they're actually split at the moment. The AWP is quite aggressive, but the teammate, it's backed off from Disco Doppler.
I mean, right now, if you're Saw, they're so good at taking long control that it's almost a given that they will at least get a 1 kill or even a refrag. I mean, imagine if they could combine their fast-paced A commitment here for Long, as well as having a few individuals from short. Such a pincer movement would do wonders for them, and they should be able to eliminate the opposition on the A bomb site so rapidly they probably don't even realize what hit them. But still just keeping on to just hitting the long side of them things, and time again, it's been rather successful, so it seems to be a working tactic.
Well, one thing I'm waiting for is, let's just say they use heavy utility out from Long. They fly 2 players out there with an absolute ton of flashes, and they just hit the quick B execution. I mean, so many times with these long control coming out, it's forced so many rotates out from both mid and B. Now, they do have a lurk of just over towards this B bomb, so if he can take a player down, he can rotate the bomb in, and, well, that's exactly what's happened.
Oh, that is such good frag here for Just. 30 seconds, though. There is one small problem. The timer right now. They're really going to have to hurry up and Just needs to survive here. That is seeming to be a very possible scenario that Just will survive, and the bomb carrier will move in just in time. And okay, it doesn't look like that Bubble will survive with his life intact. That bomb plant is coming in.
And, well, a good rotation coming in. It's very smart from the lurk coming out from Just being able to call out to his teammates that the bomb site's open. And rather than just playing passive, he tries to take the fight, tries to aggress even further. Disco Doppler trying to hold on to this M4 out through CT, but they're going to go hunting. They know how important it is to take this out of play. Wow. Man, just some of these duels.
It's interesting as well that Saw is on the winning side, of course, but you still have players like Arky who are just sitting on 5 frags.
Yeah.
It's his teammates who are doing like such a wonderful job, just with 17, Stato on 12, Mitris on 11. Like, he can be very grateful that his teammates are just doing such a fantastic job in this first half.
Triple AWPs T side, but they'll probably go and get those out of play, be able to upgrade to the AKs. Just seeing if they can find some sort of mid pick, but they weren't being successful in doing so. Fates, I mean, even the money, he's going to be glass cannoning this round.
Yeah, again, well, Disco Doppler, for the frag here, Mitris, oddly enough, he does come out on top. I actually thought Saw might even consider actually playing with a triple off setup. I mean, that would have been the ultimate BM, but
yeah.
Honestly, on Dust 2, maybe it could have worked out for them. Well, for now, this round is going in favor of X-Smash. Few good kills. This could really be their third round. It's not much, but even getting that third is a bonus moving into that second half.
So, they just need to try and get X-Smash to make a mistake, see if they can overextend. Oh, great hold coming out from Disco Doppler around that CT position means that, well, it's all down to Arky. A 1 versus 5 attempt, and already there is a backstab coming out through Long. And that's going to be X-Smash picking up the third round, the same amount they found on the city side of Nuke. So again, we're getting these 12-3 halves coming out for the Saw camp. Very, very impressive stuff from them.
Yeah, truly amazing stuff here, and I'd say that feat they managed to do there on a map like Nuke was, rather impressive, getting those 12 rounds here, but also doing it on Dust 2 for the second time in a row, that is also something else that also deserves credit. Even though a map like Dust 2, you can see it's more of a 50-50-ish sort of map that you don't necessarily see the CTs have a blowout game, but you don't necessarily see the Ts get blown out of the water as well. So impressive stuff here for the Saw side now. Of course, they're on the CT side of all places, and if they win that pistol round, they get incredibly close to achieving victory. But, Roman, what is this push? He actually comes out on top with the kill. Now he's going to be taking a look at the lower tunnels, and Roman, he will be shut down, however, as he was out there curious, exploring the map by his lonesome.
So aggressive coming out from Saw, and that's another thing that we saw from them on Dust 2 is, well, they can aggress on T side, but they can also do the same on the CT side. And play coming out towards the long face. Terrorist is going to be able to deal with a couple of players, but it's going to be Disco Doppelin to find the advantage in the 4 and 3.
Oh, Arky. You can just play it safe, or you can peek as well. That works out perfectly as he gets all three, and it will be the way this cookie crumbles. 13 for Saw.
Now, we saw this exact same scoreline on Nuke when they won the pistol on the CT side, but they lost the conversion. That's one thing that X-Smash have going for them. They didn't get a bomb plant. Do they go for the force by investment? I mean, really, there's almost no rounds to work with. No, it's just going to be Glocks. Wow. Okay, so they're playing for the rifles to come out in the next.
That is... I mean... I guess it shows a form of confidence that X-Smash shows that, you know what, we don't need to get those upgraded pistols and armor to win a round against you. We're going to get those AK-47s, and even though we're going to give away one more round, most likely, we're sure that we can still pull things off in our favor. So I don't know, X-Smash, that really shows me that they have the mental fortitude to try and pull this one off. But honestly, I mean, 14-3 is a very likely scoreline at this point. At the players from X-Smash here, Glocks and Deagles, it's just not the best equipment out there.
Terrace is going to fall down from the short position. Arky does have that scout to try and cover him as he falls back to the A bomb site. X-Smash really taking their time at the moment, but it looks like it is going to be an A commitment through short.
Might as well. Scout, though, missing the first shot. Arky is in the middle of open, though. That would make him vulnerable, apart from Mutris securing the few frags right there. Knocks and Fades, incredibly low HP, and at this point, like, this round is coming to an end. They're being shut down. Mutris with a third one, and that is the end of round number 18. That will be 14 for Saw right now, as they're getting incredibly close to achieving victory, not just on the third map here, ladies and gentlemen, but the whole best of 3, meaning they would secure a spot in the playoffs.
And they'd be, well, the first team to make it there, considering this is Group A. So they will be the first team making it to the playoffs. And it's only going to take 2 more. It's not going to be a massive ask for them. Taking this almost as a bit of a bonus round as well, not really upgrading a lot. Oh, great shot coming out from Arky to start things off, and well, that is another, once again, man advantage up for Saw.
Ooh, Shocks though, very quick reply here in Arky. They're gonna keep up with the pace right now. This seems to be the right choice. There's only one player to deal with. If they eliminate just quickly enough, oh, they don't though, that's a problem. Just stands his ground, and as X-Smash begins to move in the sight, the cavalry will arrive from Saw and just swings out with the MP9. Does end up dying in the process, but this is where Saw have another winnable round on their hands.
Especially with the AKs in play, they need to try and be out of defense because Muteris is going to try and go in. Faith is going to find one, needs a little bit more, but can't find it. Now it is going to be map and series point going through for the Portuguese side. And to think that we have come to a third map, and it is an absolute whitewash. 15-3 Saw. They are millimeters away. They are so close.
Yeah, they're incredibly close to achieving victory here. And with just, I mean, a 15-3 scoreline, it goes to show that, yeah, Saw is in a position where they can make a few mistakes and so probably close things out here. If anyone's feeling pressure, it is definitely X-Smash, but maybe not at this point. When you're down 15-3, you're probably thinking of, yeah, this is not coming our way, is it? Probably have to focus our energy on the upcoming matchup that will be taking place. Right now, Discodopino spraying wildly with the AK-47 does not connect, but we do see some good damage inflicted all throughout.
This is actually a pretty good early stance coming out from X-Smash, doing a lot of damage onto a couple of the players on the CT side. But it is the crossfire being set out through CT. And it's actually the AWP that strikes onto the first. Right, trying to peek around the smoke. Grux is going to find the trade. They're going fast into the B-bomb site.
Oh, but the cheers. Of course, he's going to push off through the smoke. And this is where a bomb plant does come in for X-Smash. That's nice and all, but can they actually hold onto the side itself? Muterus making his way through the lower tunnels. Bubble, keep close eye on it.
Oh, no!
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Okay, the balance has been restored. X-Smash can still do it, and in fact, they will. Arky and Stadato don't want to be a part of this one. They're going to allow X-Smash to run away with one more round because, of course, are thinking about the long game.
That's smart. It's very, very smart. Like, they could have just thrown that in, and they could have won it. They could have lost it, but really, it's a decision which is too difficult to make in terms of the long game. You know, they've got so many rounds to work with. Why kind of throw it away? 4 rounds for X-Smash.
Yeah.
Disco Doppelin, again, is the leading fragger, but look at everyone else. Very low numbers. Only 4 kills up for Shocks, 5 for Grux. Very, very low numbers.
Yeah, that's really dissatisfying. Again, it's just seems to be standard affair with this roster. Oh, they've actually taken a timeout. So, guys,
That's interesting.
it's 15-4. I mean, I know that you want to make sure that, yeah, we absolutely want to take this one round, but come on, the timeout here feels like more of a BM more than anything.
They want to get this sort of series over and done with, but they also want to make sure that, you know, they're not playing cocky. They're playing relatively smart. Because I mean, you look at Nuke, right? And we saw what, 13-3. Yes, it only got to 10 rounds, but it could have been a lot more. And that's probably just the in-game leader of Mutera saying, guys, like, we almost lost it on Nuke. Let's just make sure that is not even possible now on Dust 2.
I could see the reasoning behind it. I know, it definitely makes a lot of sense. Shocks, though. Ooh, that is not the start you're looking for. And this is a problem as well. Like, why is Shocks moving in there by his lonesome? Why is no one else flashing it out for him? Oh, no, that is the bomb being dropped. And this is already, I mean, this is chaos amidst the ranks of X-Smash.
Well, they're running the double AWP setup for the first time, so they're getting a lot of information. Even Arky's pushing quite aggressively up through short. Only